how they're going to grid up out there for the Formula Vintage Field presented by Racetech. On run number 1, it's bike number 1R, David Crussell. 41A, Kerry Andrews. 13, Jason Lindquist. And bike number 10, M. Mark Miller. For the 500 Premier presented by NYC Norton. On row number 3, it's bike number 7, David Roper. 14, Brian Lehrer, X95, Andrew Mogg. 76U, Luke Sayer. And bike number 80R, Helmut Niederer. For the Vintage Superbike Medium Weight presented by R3 Racing and Rick Richter. Row number 6 is 1B, Kevin Rammer. 947, Ed Milich. And 64N, Nick Einash. For the Sportsman 350 presented by Toad Town Racing, back on row number 8, it's 33, Kevin Hipp. 136, Brian Philo. 777, Joseph Wright. And 31X, Stephen Hipp. Then on row number 9, it's 831, Andy Davis. For the 250 Grand Prix field presented by N-Cubed Racing, back on row number 11, it's 219X, Tim Fowler. 533, Hiroshi Murata. 72J, Neil Jensen. And bike number 13K, Rod Skaggs. Row number 12, it's bike number 760, Dustin Johnson. 108, Paul Pisker. And 036, Damian Daffo. Row number 13 is 51X, Alan Siekman. 333, John Reagan. 220, Tim Terrell. And 082, Brandon Jansen. Then for the Formula 250 field presented by Southpaw Racing, back on row number 15, it's 709, Joe Ackley. And 995, Patrick Hansen. That's your field as they take to the track for their warm-up lap. For the Formula Vintage, this is sponsored by Racetech Suspensions. Since 1994, Racetech has been perfecting the science of motorcycle suspension. They offer performance springs, legendary gold valves, G3-S custom shocks, TNK fork tubes, drum brake arcing, and complete suspension rebuild services for vintage and modern motorcycles. Vintage specialist Matthew Wiley will be at the track this year at several events, including the Barbie Vintage Festival, to assist AHRMA racers. Racetech has been an AHRMA sponsor since 2009, and in addition to backing the competitive Formula Vintage Road Race class, they are a series sponsor for AHRMA Post-Vintage Motocross. Contact Matthew directly to receive the best service possible and an AHRMA member discount, or visit them on the web at www.racetech.com. For the field itself, this is open to machines which also compete in the 500 Premier, 500 Grand Prix, Formula 750, Formula 500, and Sportsman 750 classes. Additional bikes eligible for this class include up to 1982 two-strokes from Kawasaki, Suzuki, and Yamaha, and Honda's four-cylinder CB 550 four-strokes. The fastest bikes and some of the fastest riders of all AHRMA's vintage class can be found out there. David Crussell won the 2021 championship. For the 500 Premier field, sponsored by NYC Norton. NYC Norton specializes in Norton Commando restoration, the fabrication of complete Sealy-framed racing and performance street motorcycles, and bringing to life pedigree specials in customized motorcycles built around a multitude of engine and chassis combinations. They feature complete classic Norton motorcycles, restorations, upgrades, and custom builds, motorworks, reliability modifications, and high-performance tuning. Open to this class are any fully GP-kitted 500cc overhead valve / overhead cam engine configurations, or 750 side valve four-strokes built before December 31st, 1968, and like designs. For the Vintage Superbike Middleweight, sponsored by R3 Racing and Rick Richter. This is the R3 Racing of Hayward, Wisconsin, has made it a mission to promote and support motorcycle racing in all forms, from national road racing events with AHRMA, regional ice racing events with Mira, to county fairs in northern Wisconsin. You'll find R3 Racing involved. Whether it's building a race bike or building an enduro track, it's good for the sport and the competitors. They're there to help, and it looks like we're getting ready to start as the green flag waves, and it looks like it's bike number 117, actually it'll be 1R, David Crussell getting the jump on the field as wave number 1 works up over the crest of the hill down into turn number 1. Starters watching to make sure that everybody makes it cleanly through over into turn number 2. Looks like he's satisfied. Here comes the second wave at bike number 1B. Kevin Rammer gets the drop on the field as he charges up the hill towards turn number 1, over down into turn number 2. As we got one of the slower riders finally gets himself going, waiting for them to clear turn number 2. Looking back at the start-finish line, waiting for that third and final wave to get going here in just a moment.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Tommy Miller, Rob Goodwin, Russell Christian,
third wave,
welcome.
Finally away cleanly as they get their bikes started and so work their way up to the field. So everybody cleanly away. We'll get the full running order here for you with lap number 1. Going back through the field here, or through the sponsorship for the Vintage Superbikes. Looking back at the R3 Racing, sponsored by Rick Richter, that group has made it their mission to recruit and support new racers every season. They encourage everyone to bring a friend to the track and introduce him to this incredible sport. For the vintage Superbike middleweight field itself, these are a variety of machineries up through the 1982 model year based on showroom stock bikes. They feature unlimited displacement single-cylinder bikes. Pushrod twins from BSA, Triumph, Moto Guzzi, and BMW are out there up to 890 cc's displacement. Overhead cam twin engines like what you find in the Yamaha XS models up to 790 cc's are out there. Pushrod triples such as the Triumph Trident and the BSA Rocket 3 are out there up to 790 cc's. Overhead cam four-cylinder bikes, typically Japanese, are limited to 685 years, and the model cutoff for the GPZ 550 is 1981. As the lead riders work their way across the start-finish line, out front is bike number 1R, David Krussell, leading 41A, Kerry Andrew, and bike number X95, Andrew Malk. Those looks like Krussell is in the Formula Vintage. They're running 1 and 2. Malk running third overall, leading for the 500 Premier class, being chased down by bike number 7, David Roper back there, fourth overall, and then 14, Brian Larrabrew rounding out your top three for the Premier class. Looking on back to the field for the Sportsman 350, this class is sponsored by Town Racing. With over 30 years of experience, Town Racing's Gary Swan is the go-to guy for British and Honda twin race bikes for both dirt track and road racing. Services include engine building, race prep, fabrication, and more. Products available from Town include race quality pistons, ignitions, bodyworks, bike stands, and more. Visit them in the pit or look for the bike number 59 for the Sportsman 350 class. These are 1972 and earlier street bike-based four-stroke machines. No fairings are allowed, but drum brakes are required. This class is usually dominated by the overhead cam Honda CV350 machines. For the 250 Grand Prix class, sponsored by N-Cubed Racing, this class is for 1968 and earlier machines, including 250cc four-strokes and air-cooled two-stroke singles. Also, 175cc liquid-cooled two-stroke singles are out there, along with air-cooled two-stroke twins. This class includes purpose-built race bikes and converted production road and off-road bikes. And finally, for the Formula 250 class, sponsored by Southpaw Racing Services. Southpaw Racing Services team members include Carl Anderson, Chief Technical Consultant, Colton Roberts, handles porting and engine modifications, and Brian Bradford handles fabrication and exhaust, supplying engines and tuning to help riders win races, including recent Formula 125 champions Louis LeBlanc and Colton Roberts. Their specialty is Yamaha vintage two-strokes. The field itself, this class is primarily for 1972 and earlier air-cooled two-strokes, including singles up to 360 cc's and twins up to 250 cc's. Four-stroke singles and Honda 350/400 twins and four-cylinder four-strokes are also allowed. Single front disc brakes are allowed. And in addition to the Hondas, machines typically competing are Japanese and European two-strokes, and even include the Canadian mark Can-Am. That's your field, or that's how everything stacks up for the classes out on the racetrack. Looks like 41A, Kerry Andrews has managed to lead that last lap over bike number 1R. David Krussell solidly there at second, with X93, Andrew Malk rounding out your top three again. Andrews and Krussell running first and second for the Formula Vintage. Andrew Malk leading for the 500 Premier class, still being chased down by bike number 7, David Roper, and bike number 14, Brian Larrabrew. That's your top three for the 500 Premier class. Then at 64 in, Nick Einash back there in 6th place position. 1B, Kevin Rammers in 7th. 31X, Stephen Hitt is in 8th. 33, Kevin Hips back there in 9th. And 947, Ed Millich rounding out your top 10 as halfway flag should be coming on for the next time by for your race leader. You unmute or not?
Some more folks making their way across start finish. As always, if you want a little bit more detailed results down grid, please make your way over to Race Monitor. Here on the screen, I am only capable of showing the first 10 positions, but these grids are much larger than that. Andy Mock just crossing start finish. Very fast Wisconsin guy.
Leading for the 500 Premier class.
Oof.
Well, that's not surprising. Nick Einash up to 4th overall, leading for the Vintage Superbike middleweight. Dave Roper he's still running second in the 500 Premier. That's Dave Roper's just darn fast. And Brian Larabro, the CEO of AHRMA, still holding on to that third place position out there. Cool. Looking down through the field as the halfway flags are out, looks like 41A, Kerry Andrews still getting the better of his battle with bike number 1R, David Crussell. X95, Andrew Mogg still leading for that 500 Premier class. He's third in class, then 64N, Nick Ionash leading for the Vintage Superbike middleweight. He's running fourth overall, leading in his class. Then bike number 7, David Roper, rounds out our top 5. He's running second in 500 Premier class. Then bike number 14, Brian Larabro, holds down that third place position for the 500 Premier class. Then bike number 1V, Kevin Rammer, he's back in 7th position, second in class for the Vintage Superbike. Then bike number 33, Kevin Hipp, he's back there in 8th. He's leading for the Sportsman 350, being chased down by 31X, Stephen Hipp. In second place for that 350 GP, and then 947 Ed Millage rounding out the top 3 for the Vintage Superbike as Crussell and Andrew are working their way across the start finish line. You got to throw a blanket over those two as they're working their way around some of the back markers. So halfway flags already been out and back in, so whatever happens, this would be a complete race.
The oof on the live stream, by the way, gang, as I missed it on the camera, I'll catch it next time, is the Andy Mock and the battle going on at the very front of the race. Race leaders are just flying and just blazed past lap traffic, and it was so close and so fast, it kind of took my breath away there for a second.
Attention in the paddock, let's go first call. First call for race number 5, Open 2-stroke, Formula 750 and Battle of the Twins 2. You folks will be up here in just a moment. Again, it's first call. First call for race number 5, Open 2-stroke, Formula 750 and Battle of the Twins 2. First call for race number 5, first call.
On your screen right now, if you're tuning in at home, this is turn 3. Heading towards, there's a little mini straight there, heading towards 4. This is still 3 that you're looking at right now. Here is heading towards 4, underneath the Michelin tire. The middle of the section of the screen is heading towards turns 5 and 6. In case you're following along at home, for a little orientation so you know where we're at. And then let's go see what's going on over towards that corkscrew, because I feel like our race leaders have got to be coming through here pretty soon.
I think they're actually in 11 now, I think. Yep, that's them.
This is them.
Race leaders out of turn number 11, thundering down that front straightaway. It looks like it's going to be 1R. David Crussell still out front. Bike number 41A, Kerry Andrews, as they're up over the crest of the hill. They're going to definitely be encountering some lap traffic this time as the white flag comes out. So if Andrews got anything up his sleeve, wants to put himself up on the top step of the podium, he's going to have to play his cards on this lap as they're into the white flag lap. Still looking back towards turn number 11, waiting for bike number X95, Andrew Malk. He's running 3rd overall, first in class for the 500 Premier field as the field continues to come across to see the white flag. Meanwhile, race leaders all the way over in the turns 3, 4, and 5 area on their blistering final lap. Here's going to be your leader, 64 in Nick Ionash. He's leading for the Vintage Superbike middleweight field. Then it's X95 Andrew Mogg leading for the 500 Premier. Kevin Rammer across the line, rounding out your top 5. He's second in class for the Vintage Superbike middleweight as the race leaders are all the way over the top of the hill, getting ready to head through the corkscrew one final time.
All right.
To control.
On the screen right now is that flagger cam. Mr. Ed Bargy unfortunately just bonked into it again, but you can still see. But I'm going to need you to call him when we're done with this, and ask him to turn to the right.
Looks like race leader out of turn number 7 here, or rather 11 on the final lap. It's going to be bike number 1R, David Crussell, looking back for 41A, Kerry Andrews, and I don't see him back there anywhere in view, so not sure if he had an off-track excursion or a mechanical, but we'll get the word on that here in a moment as the checkered flag comes out for our unofficial race winner, bike number 1R, David Crussell, after having a great battle with bike number 41A, Kerry Andrew.
Kerry Andrew have bike trouble earlier in the day too?
I'm pretty sure he did. I'm pretty sure he was the one that stalled in the very first race.
So I'm curious if that's the same bike. I don't want to throw a race monitor up because it's going to cover the whole thing, but oh well. Big guy a notch. Crossing start finish followed by Kevin Rammer and Andy Mock.
We got a pickup.
David Roper.
Yeah, I saw the back-to-back, so I haven't even given second yet.
Happy birthday to Mr. David Roper also.
Is he? It's his birthday?
It was a couple of days ago.
Cool.
He and Kenny Cummings have the exact same birthday,
Okay.
and I think Cindy McLean, and there's like 4 people that all have kind of the same birthdays. Anyway, a whole bunch of our AHRMA family had birthdays this week, so happy birthday.
Copy that. Looking back through the field, 64 in. Nick Einash takes the unofficial one for the Vintage Superbike medium weight with Kevin Rammer right there behind him. X95 Andrew Malm taking the unofficial win for the 500 Premier with bike number 7 David Ropen unofficially there at second, and 14 Brian Larabrewer back there unofficially in third. Then it looks like 31X Stephen Hipp getting the better of the battle with Kevin Hipp. So Stephen Hipp taking the unofficial win for Sportsman 350 with Kevin Hipp right behind him in the second place for the Formula 350, and then bike number 709 Joe Ackley taking the unofficial win for the Formula 250. Well, let's go second call. Second call for race number 5, Open Two-Stroke, Formula 750 and Battle of the Twins 2. You folks will be up here in just a moment. It's second call. Second call for race number 5, Open Two-Stroke, Formula 750 and Battle of the Twins 2. Second call for race number 5, second call.
Do you mind calling Ed and asking him to move that camera?
Yeah.
All right, so we are just wrapping up our first race of the afternoon. We're heading into race number 5. Race 5?
Yeah, race 5.
Race 5 of a 13 race day event. So let's go back through here and change these graphics out. And this is going to be, what's going on next? What's going on in race 5?
Race 5 is Open Two-Stroke, Formula 750 and Battle of the Twins 2. Tony Dukas of TDR Racing sponsors the Open Two-Stroke class. NYC Norton sponsors Formula 750 and Moto Course Performance sponsors our Battle of the Twins 2, which are basically the Ducati field out there.
Ducati!
That's right. Or if you're watch the MotoGP, it's
Ducati!
Ducati.
Ducati!
Yeah, that's a right dust up, right? That's a proper dust up. Oh wait, that's a Phillips Island challenge. We're gonna do that for.
Oh yeah. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We appreciate you all coming on back if you watched earlier today. We've got great racing going on today and tomorrow. We are here at the classic MotoFest of Monterey with the folks here at AHRMA Road Racing, streaming the road racing today. But it's not just road racing going on this weekend. We've got flat track, we've got motocross, we've got dirt track, we've got road racing, we've got bike shows, swap meet, all sorts of great stuff going on. Heck, even Santa and Mrs. Claus
I'm saying, if
are
you're looking
here.
down there on Cold Pit Lane, you might see them down there in the green, or the green,
They're
red.
They're wandering around all over the place. I made sure to pop down and say hey to Santa and Mrs. Claus because it's Christmas in July here this weekend. We're celebrating with them, so thanks for them for stopping on by. We've got a whole bunch more racing going on this afternoon and racing tomorrow, so make sure you hit notifications on. You don't want to miss any of it. Now, let's head down to the track and go check out for race number 5. Well, just one second. Let's go ahead and throw the map up first.
How are we looking?
In case you're not familiar with the track, let's go ahead and take a gander so that we kind of get a little orientation of what we're talking about when we're talking about racing. Jay and I are basically where it says track entrance at the bottom of your screen. That's where he and I are living right now. I've got a camera facing down that front straight, and then I've got one in 3 that kind of looks up towards 3, 4, and 5. I've got one up at 8, 9, 8 coming down into 9, which is the corkscrew. That's where my cameras all live, so just so you kind of have an orientation of what we're doing. I think we're taking just 1 second, because do we have a back-to-back or a pickup?
We got both.
Okay, so
both.
somebody went off-road a little bit here on the road racing part of the program, so we're going to pick up that bike, but everybody's okay, no red flag, just maybe a mechanical or they ran wide. And then we have a racer that is racing the last race and this race, so we want to make sure to give them enough time to put gas in the bike or switch bikes and then head back to the staging area. So we like to give them just a hot second. We had a really wonderful bike night the other night as well. The MotoFests are everything. That's why we call it a MotoFest. We have bike nights and parties and contests and slow races, and we do everything at these awesome events. So make sure you put them on your calendar. This is the 3rd of 4 for 2022. Our next one and last one of the year is going to be at Barber Vintage Festival in Leeds, Alabama in October. So make sure you come on out. You're not going to want to miss it. Let's go ahead and get back down to the track.
I'm on second, and we got quite a few down there revving their engines. Copy that. I waited until these guys are.
So we're just taking just a second, like I was saying. We're trying to give them a little bit of a beat, a little bit of a 60-second delay in order to let everybody. So let's go check out some awesome, a little video I made of our bike night that happened on Thursday at the Baja Cantina.
I was telling the controller, I waited till. Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back, and look, Jay's jumping all over it, man. I'm done. I'm going on break. Jay's going to handle the live feed from here on out.
Yeah, no, he's not. He's got enough to worry about.
This is Jackie Van Ham and the excellent Jay McMacken up here holding down the announcing duties. He just is the busiest guy here all day long. All these papers, all the computers and things and stuff are on my side. But this is what a little behind the scenes shot of what we do here. We are taking just 1 hot second, letting our back-to-back guy, gal, switch bikes, put gas in the bikes, and then head back to the pit-in area or grid-in area. Staging area is the word I'm looking for. And then we're going to let them rock and roll here in just 1 second. But thanks for tuning in. Make sure you go ahead and hit that share button. Thanks to all of our racers that are watching. I've seen so many familiar faces tuning in. Greg Levicki and Pat McGraw and all my buddies. Tim Terrell, we miss you. Thanks for tuning in, though. Make sure you hit that share button so that way everybody can enjoy and watch all of the racing going on from today. But we miss you guys. You should have been here. Hopefully next year. Let's go trackside. Are we ready to rock and roll, Jay?
You can go trackside, but we're still waiting.
Jay's like, no. I did, though, sneak down there. Let's go look at, let me go click on, look at this. Santa and Mrs. Claus are here.
There you go.
That's right. I stopped by just a second ago to go say hey to them. We're celebrating a little bit of Christmas in July down in the bike show area. And they are down there taking pictures and being jolly. Super, super fun to stop by down there. And they even gave me a little hat that said naughty on it, because I guess I'm on the naughty list. But that's what's going on here. But yeah, so while we were streaming the road racing for today, we also have flat track. There's a short track, flat track racing event.
Motocross and cross country.
Motocross, cross country. We had a slow race last night. We had live music tonight. We're showing a film in the paddock, and there's food trucks. There's bike shows, swap meets, vendors. I mean, there's so much awesome stuff going on, and we are doing it all again tomorrow. So if you are in the area, you haven't missed out on the fun. You still have time to get here and come check it out tomorrow with us. So make sure you come on out here and check out. This is the classic MotoFest of Monterey with AHRMA.
Announced to start.
We're still hanging tough, letting everybody get situated down there.
Announced to start.
Let's go take a little gander at what's going on out here in the paddock. And look how full that paddock is. We've got tons of racers.
I'm not hearing you. Formula 750 and Battle of the Twins 2. You guys are up right now. Again, third and final call for race number 5. Open two-stroke. Formula 750 and Battle of the Twins 2. Third call for race number 5.
Oh.
I'm on my way, boy. Thank you.
Sorry about that, guys. For some reason, my radio just did not work, but now it seems to be working.
All right, here they go.
Calling it. That's why I couldn't figure out what's going on. As the racers take to the track for their warm-up lap, here's how they're going to grid up out there. For the open two-stroke field presented by TDR Racing, on row number 1, it's 1E Ralph Starpoli, 3Z Dave Frick, 12 Adrian Yasso, and 22V Vincent Roleri. Row number 2, it's bike number 1R David Crussell, 260 Sergio Morales Galvan, and 99X Jonathan Schendel. Row number 3, it's 7 at 58 Sean Woolery, 917 Lorraine Crussell, 241 Sharad Shanbag, and bike number 781 Paul Nelson. Row number 4, it's 096 David Dold, 284 Peter Leduc, and 070 Richard Snowden. Row number 5, it's 448I Richard Denman, 16R Roger Baker, 896 Kevin Connolly, and 036 Damian Doffo. Row number 6, it's 153 Johnny Radavero, 46R Alex White, and 890 Dylan Benjamin. For the 750, or the Formula 750, presented by NYC Norton, on row number 8, it's 1D Mark Morrow, 3C Dan Sokolich, 17 Kenny Cummings, and bike number 136 Brian Philo. Then row number 9 is 13 Jason Lundquist. Row number 11 is 198 Dylan Connor, 990 Eric Bracken, and bike number 21 Pat Wilkening. That, I believe, is your field here for race number 5. This is going to have to probably do that. For the open two-stroke, sponsored by Tony Dukas Racing. Since 1973, Tony Dukas Racing has specialized in high-performance two-stroke parts and services, including TDR reeds, providing the latest engine accessories and exhaust designs for the Yamaha RZ350 two-stroker engines. Dedicated R&D combined with dyno and race testing results in the best overall performance and reliability. TDR can provide RZ-based twin engines up to 1,200 cc's and even 3- and 4-cylinder versions for racing or recreation. They also build two-stroke street bikes using current 600cc sport bike chassis fitted with RZ-style engines. Visit tdrrz.com to learn more. The field itself is open to any two-stroke motorcycle. Unlimited on engine size, displacement, number of cylinders, frame type, cooling type, or model year. You'll see everything out there from home-built customs to purpose-built production race bikes to exotic late model Grand Prix machines. Truly the ultimate showcase for two-stroke race bikes. For the Formula 750 field, sponsored by NYC Norton. NYC Norton specializes in Norton Commando restorations, the fabrication of complete Sealy-framed racing and performance street motorcycles, and bringing to life pedigree specials and customized motorcycles built around a multitude of engine and chassis combinations. They feature complete classic Norton motorcycles, restorations, upgrades, and custom builds, motorwork, reliability modifications, and high-performance tuning. This class is for 72 and earlier 600 to 750cc four-stroke machines up to 4 cylinders. Must be representative of 8 race bikes of the era with fairings and the lower clip-on style handlebars. Disc brakes and upgraded aftermarket frames are allowed. BSA, Norton, Triumph, Honda, Yamaha, Ducati, and BMW are all represented out there. Sorry about that. This thing, seriously.
No, thank you.
I hated to leave it sit there that long.
Close the gate. Drivers start from pit road.
All right, race number 5.
Yep.
Of an action-packed 13 race event going on right now. Very fast grid out here. Woo!
Yep.
Some regular faces, familiar names out here. Go fast, guys. Brian Philo, super fast. Kenny Cummings from NYC Norton, who's also one of our class sponsors.
As the green flag waves, the open two-stroke riders thunder, or rather buzz down that front straightaway towards turn number 1. Looks like bike number 1E, Ralph Starpoli, getting a great start from the inside field, waiting to make sure that everybody clears turn number 1 over to turn number 2. Looks like Ed Barty, our starter, just about satisfied. Here comes the second wave. The Formula 750 and Battle of the Twins field off down that front straightaway themselves. Or the Battle of the Twins 2 field from the 0 to 904 cc's. This is sponsored by Moto Course Performance and Chris Boy. South Florida's Moto Course Performance sponsors the Battle of the Twins 2 class. An experienced Ducati specialist, they build, customize, and maintain customer street bikes at the highest level. With expertise in NCR Ducatis and AHRMA race bikes, you're invited to visit them online at www.motocourseperformance.com. The field itself, the Battle of the Twins 0 to 900 cc's, is open to all air-cooled twins up to 904 cc's. The air-cooled bikes have become obsoleted by the newer technology, but remain a favorite of builders, racers, and fans alike, and AHRMA has made a home for them here on the track. You'll see Ducatis, Moto Guzzi's, and Buells out there as the field working their way all the way up to the top of the hill, over the corkscrew, waiting for them to come back around. Down the hill they come, over through turns number 9 and 10. We'll get the full running order in just a moment.
Alrighty. Our leaders, which would be that open two-stroke class, are picking their way through the corkscrew right now. They'll be heading down start-finish this front straight here in just one moment.
Out front, bike number 1E, Ralph Starpoli, being chased by 22V, Vincent Ruleri. And then it's going to be bike number 1R, David Crussell, who took the handy win in the previous race, now out there running third for the open two-strokes. 99X, Jonathan Schindel back there in fourth, and bike number 12, Adrian Yasso, rounding out your top 5. Roger Baker, bike number 16R, is back there in sixth. 260, Sergio Galvan back there in seventh. 284, Peter Leduc back there in eighth. Actually, I think he's in ninth. 48I, Richard Denman's in 10th, and 758, Sean Woolery round out the top 11th as here come the Thunder bikes, which would be the Formula 750 and Battle of the Twins 2 field as they complete lap number 1.
All right, friends, if you're watching at home, I can only show the first 10 finishers, not the different classes on my screen. For more detailed results, make sure you make your way over to Speedhive or race-monitor.com, which is what I'm showing right now on my screen. This is our top 10 finishers.
Delta behind the wall. Oh, Mark Morrow's behind the wall. That's a shame. 1 Delta behind the wall. That's Mark.
friend Mark Morrow must have had a little bike trouble out there.
That's a shame.
That's unfortunate. He
Drive
teaches our
all this way.
classes and is very fast.
Ooh, we got one off to the inside. Boy, that's not a good place. Looks like our second place rider, bike number 22V, Vincent Roleri, has a bit of a mechanical issue as he was coming out of turn number 11. Tough rake as he was running a very solidly second, pushing his bike up the hill over into the gravel traps. 1E Ralph Starpoli still out front. Bike number 1R, David Krussel up into that second place position. 99X Jonathan Schendel back there in third. Then bike number 12, Adrian Yasso in that fourth place position. 16R Roger Baker back in fifth. Then it's going to be bike number 260, Sergio Galvan back there in seventh. 284, Peter Leduc back there in eighth. 3Z, David Frick in ninth. And bike number 48I, Richard Denman, rounding out your top 10.
That was some Formula 750 going past. Again, this is one of those grids that I love listening to. When they I like watching it, but I love listening to it because it sounds so different.
It really does.
You know, the buzz of all the open two
Versus
strokes
the
versus
thump of the drum of,
yes.
the B-twins.
Yeah, it's super cool. All right, this is everybody that's picking their way through turns 3 and heading towards 4. So let's go take a gander, and this is going to be looking up into turns 5 and 6.
Race leader, bike number 1E, Ralph Starpoli, seeing the green and white flags across, letting him know he's got 3 done and 3 left to go, as it looks like bike number 1R, David Krussel, really pouring on the power out of that last turn over there, having a tough time keeping the front wheel.
I was just going to say, did he get a wheel in there?
It's going to be 9X Jonathan Schendel. I'm not sure if Krussel's out there on a 500 TZ or what he's on, but whatever it is, he's got a lot of horsepower for a 2-stroke. It might even be a TC 750. I'm not sure. We'll try and confirm that here, but he is running a solid second after taking the unofficial win in the race previous to this one. 16R Roger Baker back there in fourth, and bike number 12, Adrian Yasso, rounding out your top 5 as the rest of the field streams by to start the second half of their race.
Yeah, David Krussel's got a date in the swap meet to go replace that rear tire because that's the only thing he's riding on in this race.
Exactly. I don't think I got any back.
All right. 750s. My buddy Kenny Cummings just crossing start finish on that 1-7 Norton. And then Ralph Starpoli is in the lead, and he is so crazy fast. I'm just going to go ahead and head to the corkscrew and look for him because I bet you he's coming out here in just 1 second. Ralph Starpoli, Jay, and I say that name an awful lot up here in the booth.
Leader.
Race leader, very fast.
Look for his bright green helmet.
And I love that he has the bright green helmet. Yeah. It makes him so much easier to see up here.
Attention on the paddock. Let's go first call. First call for race number 6. 200 GP, Class C foot shift, Class C hand shift, and 2-stroke Classic 250. You guys will be up here in just a moment. Again, it's first call. First call for race number 6. 200 GP, Class C foot shift, Class C hand shift, and 2-stroke Classic 250. You'll be up here in just a moment. Again, first call for race number 6.
Oops, sorry guys, keep tapping it. My bad. David Frick just crossing start finish.
Looking back on through the field, David Krussel on 1R still back there in second. 99X Jonathan Schendel holds down the top 3 for open 2-stroke. 16R Roger Baker back there in fourth, and bike number 12 Adrian Yasso still rounding out your top 5. 260 Sergio Galvan back there at 6. 284 Peter Deluc back there in 7th. 48I Richard Denman in 8th. 3Z David Frick in 9th, and 036 Damian Daffo rounding out your top 10 as the white flag should be coming out next time by for the race leader, which is bike number 1E, Ralph Starpoli, who has set an absolutely blistering pace. He put his head down at the beginning of this one and has not looked back once, as he has shown everybody the fast way around this track on an open 2-stroke.
odd shifting sounds coming out of that bike.
Clutch.
Alright, let's go look through the rest of the pack and see if we can track down race leader. This is the turns 3 and looking up into 4 and 5. Let's see what's going on. Corkscrew.
White flag out for your race leader, Starpoli, as he starts his final lap. David Crussell holding on to that second place position, but 99X Jonathan Schendel has reeled him in across that start-finish line, about 4 to 5 bike lengths adrift. So we'll see if Schendel has anything up his sleeve. Crussell got to be getting tired as he took the unofficial win in the race previous to this one. Now he's out there running back-to-back, holding on to second place in open two-stroke, but he's got Schendel breathing down his neck as that duo works their way out of turn number 4 over through 5 and up the hill here for their final lap. Looks like Baker and Yasso still rounding out in that 4th and 5th place respectively as the rest of the field streams by, seeing the white flag. Ralph Starpoli knowing he's got just a few more turns before he can taste victory as he's up to the top of the hill, working his way over in the corkscrew area right now.
All right, I'm keeping an eye out for race leader.
That might be him, third bike. Nope, that's not him. Right color bike, wrong color helmet. Here he comes.
That's him.
Race leader down in through turn number 11, picking his way through traffic as he's out of 11, up through the gearbox, tucked in behind the fairing. As he sits up, gives a quick wave to the starter to take the checkered flag. Bike number 1E, Ralph Starpoli taking the unofficial win. Here's the battle for second as Schendel's right on the tail section of Crussell. Crussell mono-wheeling up the front straightaway. Just doesn't quite have enough horsepower. If Schendel doesn't have quite enough horsepower to make a move. So David Crussell on bike number 1R taking the unofficial second out there. Schendel coming home third. Roger Baker on bike number 16R ending up rounding out your top 4.
Some very exciting racing.
Copy that. I'm still on first anyway.
Peter Leduc crossing start finish. Richard Danman. Dave Frick.
That's kind of what I figured there.
Alrighty, and this is open two-stroke winding down, but we still have two more classes behind it. So hang tough, everybody. And I'm not going to have them on the screen. I'll ask Mr. J to read them if he has them. Race monitor?
Race monitor, going on down through here. Looks like Kenny Cummins took, according to this, the first for Formula 750. 136 Brian Philo was back there in second. Dylan Connor took Battle of the Twins 2 honors with 990 Eric Bracken in that second place position. Then Pat Wilkening taking third. Still looking for the rest of the Formula 750.
Well, they're just crossing now.
Yeah. Well, I'm only showing 2 Formula 750 riders that finished. Jason Lundquist was out there, but he only got 1 lap in. So that's what it looks like from here.
Okie dokie. Thanks, I appreciate it. If I try to scroll through race monitor on my side, it
whips it all out.
It freaks out my computer system. So, for full results, you can always, if you're watching at home, click on over to race monitor on yourself. It's race-monitor.com. Okay, so let's go ahead. This is winding down. Let's set up for race number 6. $200 Grand Prix and foot and hand shift.
Yeah. Announce to control. What turns the pickup in? As the last bike cross there.
Dustin Richards. Hey, thanks for checking in and watching the feed. We appreciate you.
I'm going second
Thanks
call.
for watching, Steve Alexander.
Attention out there in the paddock with an exciting conclusion of this race. Let's go second call. Second call for race number 6. 200 Grand Prix, Class C foot shift, Class C hand shift, and 2-stroke classic You guys will be up here in just a moment. True Stroke Classic 250 GP, that is. You guys will be up here in just a moment. Again, it is second call. Second call for race number 6, 200 GP, Class C foot shift, Class C hand shift, and two-stroke classic 250. You'll be up in just a moment. It's second call, race number 6, second call.
Hey, Ed Buffman tuned in. I know Ed in real life. Thanks for watching, Ed. We appreciate you.
And
Josh
AHRMA.
Baldwin, thanks for watching. Rob Rogers, hey, thanks for tuning in. Ray Call, Tim Wilkinson, Kyle Beauclair, Chris Britton, Matt Crabtree, Francis B. Leon Rice.
While we got a minute, we want to remind everybody that you can visit the Paddock Turn 3 Pavilion down there to see more incredible vintage bikes and the Moto from Moto Talbot and then Jameson's Classic Motorcycle Museum. It is free, so you want to head on upstairs and enjoy the air-conditioned indoor and outdoor viewing deck overlooking Turn 3 as these bikes thunder past you just below you. While inside, you can enjoy the El Jefe Cash Bar and enjoy all the on-track action from the best seats in the house. Stop on down to Turn 3 Pavilion in the paddock. While you're down in that area, you can also check out the swap meet, see what bikes or what pieces you may be able to pick up for your classic bike, or maybe find that next winter's project down there at the swap meet. Is going on right now. The bike show's also going on. I believe they're going to start doing the judging here in about 15 minutes. The judging will go on from 2 to 3, and at 3 p.m. they'll crown the winner out there. A lot of really good looking bikes down there in the bike show, so stop on down that way. We're still at second call for group number 6, 200 GP, Class C foot shift, Class C hand shift, and two-stroke 250 classics.
So some bike out there is making the craziest sounds.
Easy, Mrs. Claus. Don't hurt yourself running across hot pit lane.
Oh, look, Santa! Okay, on your screen right now, Santa's down there.
Did she lose her shoe?
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Oh, look, they're both on the screen. Santa and Mrs. Claus. I think they're taking photos over in the staging area.
I think they're going to wave to all the racers as they come out for a photo opportunity.
And I can definitely hear this is like some snarling old machines out there. There is just the nastiest sounding bike out there. I can hear it up here in the booth. I don't know if you can or not, but it's just popping and snarling away. This is clearly our foot shift and hand shift antique motorcycle class. Race number 6.
Am I cool to go third? Attention out there in the paddock. Let's go third and final call for race number 6, 200 GP, Class C foot shift, Class C hand shift, and two-stroke classic 250. You folks are up right now. If you want to bring them on up, we'll send you out now for your hot lap. Again, it's third and final call for race number 6, third call for race number 6. Announced to start, third's gone out. As the riders get ready to take to the track here for the hot lap, this is how they're going to grind up. On the 200 Grand Prix presented by Kincaid Legacy on row number 1, 220 Tim Terrell, 51X Alan Siekman, 13K Ron Skaggs, and 226 Tim O'Mahony. Then row number 2 at 760 Dustin Johnson, 218 Tico Sandoval, and bike number 72 J. Neil Jensen. Row number 3 at 678 Matthew Winter, 219X Tim Fowler, 533 Hiroshi Murata, and 082 Brandon Jansen. Row number 4, it's M49 Thomas Hillard, 104 Paul Pisker, and bike number 091 Nick Taylor. Row number 5, it's 211 Karen O'Mahony, 227 Samantha Dofo, bike number 425 Richard Vanderstraten, and bike number 20M Robbie Cadwaller. Then row number 6, it's 393 Arash Natarashi, bike number 35L Jack Haynes, and bike number 116 David Stark. Row number 7, it's 161 Mario Daffo, 36 Marcelo Daffo, and bike number 333 John Reagan, then 761 Sam Kaufman. Row number 8, it's 07 Mike Miranda. For the Class C foot shift, sponsored by N-Cubed Racing and Two Phils Racing. On row number 10, it's 24 Grant Spence, 27 Bino Rody, bike number 5 Greg Tomlinson, and bike number 59 Gary Swan. For the Class C hand shift, presented by Luke's Racecrafters, back on row number 12, it's bike number 81 Ralph Wessel, and 75A Gary Roper. That's your field here for race number 6.
All right, these grids are going to be huge for you guys watching at home. These are big grids because this is the class that you have to enter if you want to get points for the CB160, folks. The CB160 race here with AHRMA is exhibition only, so you don't qualify for points. You don't really technically win anything. So if you want to qualify for points and win something, you have to enter this 200 GP class. At the least, you have to enter this. So this is why this is a lot of the CB160 folks. This is their bump class in order to get points. So that's why the grids here are usually pretty packed.
I wonder what was going on with Wessel and Gary Roper. They were both a little late taking the hot lap.
I don't know what's going on there.
Might have to talk to them about that, but they're usually pretty fast guys for a hand shift bike. As the riders are out there for the 200 Grand Prix field, this is sponsored by Kincaid Legacy Racing. This class combines a variety of engine designs and displacements based on an index of performance. This class is for 1968 and earlier machines, including 250cc 4-stroke singles and air-cooled 2-stroke singles, 175cc air-cooled 4-stroke twins, and 2-stroke singles and twins. This class includes purpose-built race bikes, converted production road and off-road bikes. The bump-up class is 250 Grand Prix. Christopher Caden claimed the 2021 AHRMA National Championship. For the Class C foot shift, this is sponsored by Two Phils Racing along with Incubed Racing. The Class C hand shift field is sponsored by Luke's Racecrafters. This class is for 1951 and earlier machines. Bikes are typical of those raced on early American Grand National Championship circuits. 500cc singles and twins can have overhead cams or pushrod engines. 750cc V-twins are side valve or flathead engines and use hand shift gearboxes. Battle of smaller, lighter British bikes against the heavier, more powerful American iron like Indian and Harley are what this class represents. Foot shift and hand shift classes are on the track together but scored separately. For the 250 classic, for the two-stroke classic GP field, this is sponsored by Bill Gillis. This class showcases 74 to 84 era purpose-built 250cc liquid-cooled Grand Prix bikes. That's your field here as the grid takes their positions out there for race number 6.
I missed that. What was the last one? Two-stroke?
Two-stroke classic 250 GP, but there's nobody in it.
Oh, okay.
So there's nobody on the grid. That's why.
Okay, and then was there one after it?
That's the next race.
Okay, thank
so
you.
You combine that on the same race. So.
Thanks.
And I was going to say something about the field. Oh yeah, GT's out there.
I heard you say his name. He's in a hand shift class or something?
No, he's in the
shift.
Class C foot shift. Well, at least he's on the grid. I don't know if he's actually going to be on the track. He's going to be number 5. I know he's here this weekend.
Yeah, I just saw him last night. Out in the paddock, wandering around.
I don't see him on the grid. Spence is there and Sean, but Bino, Rhodey, and Tomlinson didn't show up for the Class C foot shift field.
Like I said, I heard kind of some weird noises out the window, so I wonder if one of the bikes wasn't running right. It didn't sound quite right.
I wonder if that's him pulling in down there. Somebody just pulled in a hot pit.
Let's go see if we can see it. No, they're already gone.
As the green flag waves, looks like it's 13K. Rod Skaggs getting a great start on this race as he rockets up the field. Looks like bike number 20X, not actually maybe 20M over there. Looks like he's finally got it bumped off, and now off this hill he goes as he's trying to get up to catch the rest of the field. Meanwhile, waiting for the second wave, which would be the Class C hand shift and foot shift bikes. Waiting for them to start here in just a moment.
That's a bummer, and that's somebody in a blue shirt, so that's a new racer to us here at AHRMA.
Yeah. So looks like the Class C foot shift and hand shift bikes. It's going to be bike number 24, Grant Spence, just barely leading the field, but Gary Swan rocketing down around him over the crest of the hill there in turn number 1. We'll get the full running order here for you in just a moment when they come around to complete this first lap.
All right, in the middle of your screen right now, you're looking at turns 3, and it looks like our friend in the blue shirt is starting to make his way through there and is hopefully able to catch up with the rest of the pack here shortly.
That would be Robbie Cadwalder.
Blue shirts for us is our code language. That is somebody who is new to racing with us here at AHRMA. They're not new racers necessarily.
I don't think he was a new racer.
Yeah, they're just new to AHRMA.
He had a really cool set of BSA leathers, but just BSA
he
honest
did.
leathers, but you can't see it with the blue shirt.
Yeah. All right, let's go check out the rest of the middle of the track. This portion that you're looking at right now is around turns 5 and 6 in the middle of your screen. leaders should be towards the backside of the track, towards the corkscrew right now, and yes, they are.
Race leaders out of the corkscrew down through turn number 9 over into turn number 10. Looks like we got a one-rider breakaway out front. Waiting for them to come around to see who it is. Actually, no, it's a two-rider breakaway working their way through turn number 11. Here they come onto the front straightaway. Pretty much a dead-even race between these two as they rocket down that across that start-finish line. It's going to be 760 Dustin Johnson leading 678 Matthew Winter. I believe Winter had a great race earlier today, and it's going to be 226 Tim O'Mahony out there in 35L. Jack Canes in 4th, and 533 Hiroshi Murata rounding out your top 5. 72J Neil Jensen back there in 6th. 219X Tim Fowler in 7th. 13K Rod Skaggs gets a great start, but finishes that first lap back there in 8th. 082 Brandon Jensen back there in 9th, and 393 Arash Nadarshani. MD, he's evidently the fast doctor out there, rounding out your top 10.
Alrighty, you're looking at turn 3 right now. And they're making their way over towards 4.
So, I hate to say this, but what did Santa and Mrs. Claus do as the riders came in? Did they just wave at them, or did they just kind of stand there?
Well, I mean, I think that they were granting wishes, so maybe people were wishing for, wins.
We're wishing for more horsepower.
Wishing for more horsepower, wishing for bike parts.
Yes.
I mean, it could really be anything.
Santa, please bring me some more horsepower.
10 more HP, Santa. All right, they're not at the corkscrew. Oh, yeah, there. Our race leaders, this little 2-pack that is stepping away from the rest of the group, very smooth sailing going on, are just now making their way through the corkscrew.
Looks like 760 Dustin Johnson and 678 Matthew Winters are having an epic battle out there to see who's going to stand on that top step of the podium, as they're about 4 to 5 bike lengths separating each other as they work their way out of turn number 11 down that front straightaway. At the line this time, it's going to be Matthew Winters out front, with Johnson right there trying to hold on to the draft as they've got a full front straightaway lead over that third place rider. It looks like it's going to be, I think it's going to be 226 Tim O'Mahony as they work their way across the line, but we'll get confirmation of that as they cross the start-finish line. It is Tim out there on 226, and then 35L, Jack Canes looking to size himself up to put himself up on that step of the podium that O'Mahony holds at the moment. Then 533, Hiroshi Murata still holding on to that top 5 position. Next time flag should be halfway flags for the race leaders, letting them know they'd have 3 done and 3 left to go at that point.
All right, Rod Skaggs and Paul Piscor crossing start finish right now. And that is your top 10 for this race number 6.
So looking at 20M Robbie out there, they got the start. Go mute. I'm standing there at the driver's meeting like, oh, I should go ask him how to pronounce that.
Always.
Go for announce.
Very cool foot and hand shift bikes going by right now.
Copy that.
Just making beautiful, beautiful noises.
Attention out there in the paddock. Want to let everyone know results up through race 4 have been posted. Again, results up through race 4 are posted. Looks like our race leaders working their way out of turn number 11 onto the front straightaway. It is going to be bike number 678, Matthew Winters, stretching out just a couple of more bike lengths to make it about 10 bike lengths between him and 760 Dustin Johnson, rounding out your top 2 as they're over the crest of the hill down in through turn number 1 over into turn number 2. So they've got a substantial lead as bike number 35L, Jack Canes, continues to eye up 226 Tim O'Mahony. O'Mahony holding on to that third place podium position. Actually, scratch that. It is 35L Jack Haynes. He's made his move that last lap, puts himself up onto the third step of the podium. 226 Tim O'Mahony holding on to that fourth place position. Now trying to figure out how he can reel Haynes back in. Then 533 Hiroshi Murata rounding out your top five as the field sees the green and white flags cross, letting them know they've got 3 done and 3 left to go. Moving on back through the field, it's 72J Neil Jensen in that 6th place position. 219X Tim Fowler back there in 7th. 393 Arash Nadashari is back there in 8th. 108 Paul Fisker is in 9th. And 082 Brandon Jensen rounding out your top 10.
Yeah, Jack Haynes, no surprise there. The Haynes family is a multi-generational racing family out of Wisconsin. They're all very fast. Jack is clearly very, very talented. Part of a crew of Wisconsin folks that came out this weekend. We're stoked to have them here. It's quite a drive. All right, on your screen right now is 3 headed to 4. On the lower part of your screen, the middle and top part of your screen is 5 heading towards 6.
Attention out there in the paddock. Want to let everybody know that the dirt track practice has ended now. It's supposed to end at 2, so it should be over. And in about a half an hour, they're going to start the dirt track race heats. And then the main will follow right after that. So the 4SR/Jimco sponsored AHRMA National Dirt Track will start here in about a half an hour at 2:30. Race heats will start with the main to follow. It looks like everybody out there in our race 6 for the road racing group has seen halfway. So whatever would happen, this would be completed race. Out front, it's still 678. Matthew Winters leading bike number 760, Dustin Johnson. Then it's going to be bike number 35L, Jack Haynes holding on that third step of the podium with bike number 226, Tim O'Mahony back there in 4th. And I've got back-to-backs in this one with the next one.
Okay.
I got one, though. That's the problem. And it's Spence.
Okay.
Attention in the paddock. Attention in the paddock. Let's go first call. First call for race number 7. Next Gen Superbike 3, Sound of Singles 2, Sportsman 750, and Thruxton Cup Challenge. You folks will be up here in just a moment. It is first call. First call for race number 7. Next Gen Superbike 3, Sound of Singles 2, Sportsman 750, and Thruxton Cup Challenge. First call for race number 7. First call. Announced to control. I see we've got one back-to-back in this one. Any pickups yet? White flag out for your race leader, bike number 678, Matthew Winters, as he starts to encounter some lap traffic. He's got bike number 760, Dustin Johnson, right there behind him. We'll see if Johnson's going to be able to possibly work some of that lap traffic or if Winters is going to use it to his advantage as they start their final lap here, looking up towards turn number 11. Here comes your third place rider. It's going to be bike number 35L, Jack Haynes, across the line. Actually, scratch that. That's 24. Mr. Spence out there. I believe he's running second in class or possibly first in class for the Sportsman 750. Then it's going to be bike number 35L Jack Haynes, 226 Tim O'Mahony out there in that fourth place position as Winter still picks his way through the traffic over in the turns 3, 4, and 5 area.
right, we are still deep in 200 Grand Prix territory. This is the points class for our friends aboard the CB160s. So substantial grids, big size grids out here.
Lost my race leader. He's got to be out there somewhere.
I think he just went.
Oh, he did just go by.
Yep, Matthew Winter.
Checkered flag out for your unofficial race winner, bike number 678. Matthew Winter takes that one. Then it's going to be bike number 760, Dustin Johnson, across the start-finish line as the rest of the field streams by. So it looks like Winter was able to use some of that lap traffic to his advantage, holding on to the win, looking back towards turn number 11. We're waiting for that third place rider to come into view here in just a little bit. Third place rider, bike number 35L, Jack Keynes, takes the unofficial third step of the podium for the 200 Grand Prix class. There went my back-to-back.
Daniel May says, great coverage, keep it coming. Thanks, Dan May. Shake and bake, my friend, shake and bake.
You. Looking back through the rest of the field, 226 Tim O'Mahony holding on to that fourth place position with 533 Hiroshi Murata rounding out your top five. 393 Arash Nada Shahari taking that sixth place position. 72 J Neil Jensen back there in seventh. 219 X Tim Fowler in eighth. 108 Paul Kinzer back there in that, I believe, going to be that ninth place position as they working their way down out of that last turn. We'll see if he's going to make it to the line first. Actually, it's 082, Brandon Jansen getting the better of his battle with Paul. So 082, Brandon Jansen up ninth. 108, Paul Pisker rounding out your top 10 as the rest of the field streams by, taking that checkered flag. 761, Sam Kaufman back there in 11th. 218, Tico Sandoval back there 9th. 091, Nick Taylor in that 13th position. 13K, Rod Skaggs back in 14th. And I believe that was all the bikes that are on the lead lap. We've got a back-to-back in this one, so we're holding for just a moment on first call. We'll go second here in just a moment.
All right, and as always with these big grids, make sure if you want the more in-depth race timing and scoring, all of that is live and posted over at Speed Hive usually, but Race Monitor for sure, race-monitor.com. Alrighty, and let's go ahead and get ready for our next grid. What does race number 7 look like, my friend?
It's not too bad. It's a decent sized grid.
Next Gen Superbike 3.
Yeah. Sound of Singles 2, Sportsman 750, and Thruxton Cup Challenge.
Awesome. I enjoy all the racing here, Jay, but I do really enjoy the Thruxton Cup Challenge. It's one of the very earliest races that I came and paid attention to because I had a bunch of friends that raced it.
Oh, yeah.
It's very convenient to go and buy a relatively modern-ish bike.
Very competitive, too.
And these guys were fast. Like, very, very competitive class. But that great cafe racer style, just really cool bikes. I've always really kind of enjoyed this class.
I think this is my back-to-back here.
Alrighty. And Jay's got a back-to-back, which is our internal code language for somebody that is racing multiple classes, so we need to give them a hot second to either change bikes or put gas in the bike that they're in if they're racing the same bike. All of that kind of good stuff. So we like to make sure everybody has enough time to make it to all of their grids. We want to make sure to keep all of our racers happy. That's the whole reason we're here, right? So we like to give them an extra 60 seconds or so. So while we're doing that, let's go ahead and check out a
Let's go second call.
Second
Second call for race number 7. Next Gen Superbike 3, Sound of Singles 2, Sportsman 750.
as that, right? All sorts of cool stuff going on here this weekend. Music and parties and road racing, obviously, that's what we're streaming today and tomorrow, but also tons of dirt track racing going on. Bike show, vendors, food trucks. We're showing a movie tonight here in the paddock. We're doing a little bit of an official, unofficial date night here, so you can come and you and your sweetheart can come and grab yourself something delicious to eat. We've got all these excellent food trucks. Watch a movie here in the paddock with us. It's always a good time to hang out with the AHRMA family. If you would like to learn how you can join our AHRMA family, which you should, or come racing with us, or come take one of our schools and learn to come race with us, make sure you find all the details at arma.org.
Copy that. Thank you. I'll probably give it about another 30 seconds and then I'll go third.
All right. So while Jay is working on that, we of course cannot do any of our races or have any of these awesome MotoFests without our excellent sponsors. So let's go on ahead and thank some of our sponsors real fast while we're in a little bit of a stand down, just for another 30 seconds or so, while we're waiting for somebody to get ready and head to the staging area. Third call has gone out, so the bikes are heading to the staging area. So we are going to be rocking and rolling here in just a few moments. We are on race number 7
of 13.
of a 13 race.
7 of 13.
Jay knows what I'm looking for. 13 race day event.
As the racers take to the track here, here's how they're going to grid out. For the Next Gen Superbike Field 3, sponsored by Lara Brewer Framing, it's going to be row number 1, bike number 14, Brian Lara Brewer, 57A, Robert Schautel, 16R, Roger Baker, and bike number 68R, Craig Grantham. Row number 2, it's 929, Jake Barrett, and 990, Eric Bracken. For the Sound of Singles 2, presented by Frick and Starpoli, aka Moto Caddy. Row number 4, it's bike number 1E, Round Starpoli, 21B, Andrew Berkeley, 3Z, David Frick, and 329, Matthew Crabtree. Row number 5, it's bike number 12, Adrian Yasso, and bike number 60, Jeff Sessman. And 501, Randall Wade. Row number 6, it's 022, Jake Barker, 441, Michael Gerard, 228, Rob Bagley, and bike number 33, Ron Melton. Row number 7, it's bike number 925, Kerry Kress, 240, Christopher Blake, and 241, Sharad Shanbag. For the Sportsman 750 field, sponsored by MAP Cycle Enterprises, back on row number 9, it's 84 Jeff Hargis, 700 Cameron Crockett, 24 Grant Spence, and 839 Michael Dixon. Then on row number 10, it's 446 Anthony Staros. For the Thruxton Cup Challenge, sponsored by the NOLA Riding Academy, back on row number 12, it's bike number 099 Dale Dutch Vandenberg Jr. and 858 Charles Steinman. That is your field here for race number 7. For the Next Gen Superbike field, sponsored by Lara Brewer Framing, this is a new class that was started in 2022. This is for late 80s to mid-2000 U.S. Superbikes. Various twin and four-cylinder bikes from the 1986 till 2006 are represented out there. For the Sound of Singles class, this is sponsored by Frick Starpoli, aka Moto Caddy. This is for liquid-cooled four-stroke singles up to 450 cc's and air-cooled four-strokes up to 610 cc's. The 450s typically have state-of-the-art road race chassis with modern motocross-based engines. For the Sportsman 750 field, this is sponsored by MAP Cycle Enterprises and Mario Perna. This field is for 1972 and earlier street bike-based four-stroke machines. A new addition to the class in 2015 was the single overhead cam Honda CB754, ready to take on the then class dominating twins, the Yamaha XS650s. No fairings are allowed, but front disc brakes are allowed. The Japanese, British, Italian, and German bikes are seen on the track in this class. And finally, the Thruxton Cup Challenge. This is sponsored by NOLA Racing Academy in Clint, Austin. Clint, the owner of NOLA Riding Academy, won the Thruxton Cup Challenge in 2019 and 2020. His other accomplishments in 2020 also included winning the Sound of Thunder 1, Sound of Thunder 2, and Battle of the Twins 2 national championship. When not racing, Clint can be found teaching new riders to ride on both 2- and 3-wheel motorcycles in New Orleans, Louisiana, and Gulfport, Mississippi. You may also find him wrenching or selling used motorcycles. Additionally, they are an authorized AHRMA helmet dealer, so if you're in the need of a new AHRMA helmet, Clint, you're an AHRMA racer discount, AHRMA racer to get a discount. This field is open to lightly modified Triumph Thruxtons and Harley-Davidson Sportsters. Thruxtons are limited to air-cooled 865cc twins produced up through 2015. That's your field here as we're waiting for the green flag to go in just a moment. Getting just a bit of a jump as it took off, but then it stalled for a moment. He finally gets it going. That was a bit of a spooky moment on that front row in the start of that one, but it looks like no harm, no foul as the field works their way over through turn number 1 and turn number 2. Looks like our starters satisfied that they were cleanly away, getting ready to send the second wave off. As there go the Sportsman 750 and Thruxton Cup Challenge riders, as bike number 84, Jeff Hargis, wastes no time in trying to check out on the field as another bike getting a little bit of a slow start, but getting going himself.
You never know what you're going to get. It's always exciting here at AHRMA. If you're not a regular follower of our shows or programs, just so you're aware, it's
I
not
kind of
just
thought
old
he
bikes
jumped
here.
myself, but the way he stalled that thing, that was kind of spooky to watch.
It's not just old bikes here. We race some more modern stuff too, for sure. All right now you are looking at the middle part of the track, middle-ish. You're seeing bikes moving middle, heading towards race 5 or turn 5.
Way through the corkscrew turn and this opening lap here. Want to remind everybody, if you've rented a rental transponder and you're not racing tomorrow, aka if you've rented a rental transponder and you're only racing today and you're planning to leave after today's events, please don't forget to turn in that rental transponder. It seems like at the end of the race weekend we always have trouble tracking those things down. If you've rented a transponder and you're going to be racing tomorrow, by all means hang on to it because you're going to need it tomorrow. But if you've rented a transponder and you're only racing today and you're going to leave after today, please don't forget to turn in that rental transponder before you leave. Out front on bike number 16R, Roger Baker, leading 68R, Craig Grantham, and then bike number 14, Brian Larabrewer, that's for top 3. Then 990, Eric Bracken back there in 4th, and 1E, Ralph Star Pauly, all the way up and running the top 5. He's leading for the Sound of Singles, and he's got bike number 57A, Robert Schautel behind him. In 6th, 21B, Andrew Berkeley in 7th, 929, Jake Barrett back there in 8th, 21, Adrian Yasso back in 9th, and 60, Jeff Sessman rounding out your top 10. So it looks like the next-gen Superbikes and the Sound of Singles 2 are all mixed in as the top 10 work their second lap here.
Yeah, this class gets so interesting to me because they get mixed so fast.
Yeah.
Within the first lap, the classes are all over each other.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of strategy in here. You know what I mean? You're running into some some different displacements.
Yeah. Want to remind everybody that the flat track events, the heats for the flat track, will start here in about 10 minutes. If anybody's interested in that, that's the 4SR/Gemco sponsored AHRMA National Dirt Track. Race heats again is supposed to start here at 2:30 here in about 10 minutes or so, and then once they get done with the race heats, the main will follow. Out front though, here for the road racing, 16R Roger Baker trying to check out on the field. He's got bike number 14, Brian Larabrewer, getting the better of his battle with 68R Craig Grantham. So put Larabrewer up on the second step of the podium. Craig Grantham back there in third. 990, Eric Brackett back there in fourth. And bike number 1E, Ralph Starpoli, rounding out your top 5. Starpoli leading in the Sound of Singles. He's got bike number 21, Andrew Berkeley, behind him. And then it's going to be bike number 12, Adrian Yasso. Those are the top 3 of the Sound of Singles, too. And the rest of the field streams on by. 57A, Robert Schautel back there at 8th. 929, Jake Barrett back there at 9th. And bike number 60, Jeff Sessman, still round out your top 10 as halfway flag should be coming up next time by.
All right, our race leaders right now are working their way through the middle part of your screen. That is turns 5 into 6. Towards the top part. The lower part is heading out of turn 3, heading to 4. That means the race leader should be heading towards the corkscrew here in just
Announced
one
to
moment.
Dewana. Can you please go to 1? Hey, Dewana.
Race leaders just now crossing start finish.
Looks like our race leader finally crossing start finish out there. I believe 16R being called for that jump start. Looking at the leaderboard at 68R, Craig Grantham out front with 14. Brad Lairbreur back there in second at 990. Eric Brackett rounding out your top 3. 1E, Ralph Starpoli back there in fourth. 21B, Andrew Berkeley rounding out your top 5 as everybody's starting the second half of their race. Is 16R still running out front? I mean,
68R?
No. 16R. He was leading. He had a pretty substantial lead, and I didn't see who crossed, but I heard him call on the jump start. So I don't know if normally they penalize him, but
He's not on the race monitor.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if they penalize him a lap or they. Some places give him a 10-second penalty. I don't even see him. Nope, there he is. Yeah, I think they gave either he came in or they gave him a lap penalty. I'm not sure. He's showing down at 25th now. I don't know. Okay.
All right, let's go see what is going on.
Yeah, there he goes. So. Attention out in the paddock. Let's go first call. First call for race number 8. Race number 8, 350 GP, Vintage Superbike Lightweight, Classic 60s 650, Classic 60s, Sportsman 500, Bears, Formula 125, 2-stroke Classic 350, and next Novice Historic Production Heavyweight. You folks will all be up here in just a moment. Again, it's first call. First call for race number 8, 350 GP, Vintage Superbike, Lightweight, Classic 60, 650, Classic 60s, Sportsman 500, Bears, Formula 125, 2-stroke Classic 350, and Novice Historic Production Heavyweight. This first call for race number 8. Boy, they're making the sidecar.
All right now on your screen you are seeing turn 3. Let's go see what is going on towards 4, 5, and 6.
How you doing, buddy?
I want to do something I'm good at.
Mr. David Stark just joining us in the booth now, who was racing earlier today and then walked in the door and said he wants to do something that he is actually good at.
Talking about your racing? Is that something you're good at?
Yeah.
I don't know. What are you good at, man?
Talking about racing.
Yeah. All right, let's go see what's going on over in the corkscrew as we keep an eye out for race leaders.
White flag in hand with our starter as he gives them the white flag. Looks like bike number 68R, Craig Grantham, leading has bike number 14, Brian Larabro, the CEO of AHRMA, right there behind him. So our board members are also racers. Then bike number 990, Eric Bracken, rounding out your top three with bike number 1E, Ralph Starpoli, back there in that fourth place position. He's leading for the Sound of Singles as he has bike number 21B, Andrew Berkeley, right there behind him. Berkeley rounding out the top five, running second in class. Then bike number 12, Adrian Yasso, sixth overall, third in class for the Sound of Singles 2. You muted.
All right, let's
Thanks,
go
I
for some race
appreciate it.
leaders out
Appreciate it.
here. Let's go see what's going on over in the corkscrew, because I think this is going to be them. Ooh, someone's running a
Checkered
little
flag
wide.
waving, and here comes your race leaders out of turn number 11 down the front straightaway. Looks like at the line it's going to be 68R, Craig Grantham just nipping bike number 14, Brian Larabrew. Larabrew just about 3 bike lengths adrift as those two rocket across the start-finish line to see the checkered flag. With the flag out on this one, let's go second call. Second call for race number 8, 350 GP. Vintage Superbike Lightweight, Classic 6650, Classic 60, Sportsman 500 Bears, Formula 125, two-stroke Classic 350, and Novice Historic Production Heavyweight. You folks are up in just a moment. Again, it is second call. Second call for race number 8. Second call for race number 8.
So race number 8 is the kitchen sink of the AHRMA program. It's
I
literally
think it's got 9.
It's
Let's see.
literally
1, 2,
everything.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 9 classes.
It is the paddock clearer. It is everybody bring your bikes.
Yeah, that's right. Come on up.
Everybody
Throw 'em out
come.
there.
Everybody come racing.
Everybody come racing. All right. It's still not too bad. It's only two. It's only 2 sheets. That's not too bad.
All right. For those of you watching at home, we are just winding down race number 7, heading into race number 8. Friend of the race program, friend of AHRMA, Mr. David Stark has joined us up here in the booth. As we wind down this race and watch our last handful of racers cross start-finish line. Let's go ahead and get set up for our next race, which
Announce
is
the
race number
control.
8. You just heard Jay announce it. It is
We got any pickups or
a
not?
huge smattering of bikes and displacements and things and stuff.
Copy that.
Let's see what's going on here. 350 GP.
Sorry.
No worries.
Vintage Superbike Lightweight.
Light. Classic 60s.
Yep. Classic 6650.
Yep.
Sportsman 500.
Bears.
Bears. Formula 125.
Is that everybody?
Two-stroke Classic 350s.
Okay.
And Novice Historic Production Heavyweight.
Goodness gracious. Let me clean up this screen a little bit. This is a bit of a mess here. Because it's everybody racing. You know, we try to make sure we have classes for everybody represented here.
Yep.
Bears. All right. So let
Jody, are we green?
Let's get rid of this race monitor so we can see what we're talking about here. Thank you so much for everybody tuning in on the live feed out there. We appreciate you watching. Brian Lewis, welcome to the show. Louis Alfredo Amaya, thanks for watching. Kate Jorgensen, thanks for tuning in. Mike Harlow, thanks for watching. Hal Hopkins, thanks for tuning in. Kevo Moore, thanks for tuning in. Bradley Phillips, welcome to the show. We had a really nice comment from Gabe Trench. Great coverage. Wish I was there. Thanks for doing this. Well, thank you for tuning in, Gabe. We appreciate you.
We wish you were here too.
We wish you were here too.
We do.
But I appreciate you watching. So why not go ahead and smash that share button while you're at it, and let your friends know about this awesome racing that's going on out here at
Attention
beautiful
in the
Laguna,
paddock. Let's
Seca.
go. Third and final call for race number 8. 350 GP Formula Vintage Superbike Lightweight Classic 60s, Classic 6650, Sportsman 500, Bears Formula 125, two-stroke Classic 350s, and Novice Historic Production Heavyweight. You folks are up right now if you want to bring them on up. It is third and final call for race number 8. 350 GP Vintage Superbike Lightweight Classic 6650, Classic 60, Sportsman 500, Bears Formula 125, two-stroke Classic 350, and Novice Historic Production Heavyweight. Third call for race number 8. Third call. Would you like the honors, sir?
Sure.
All right, we
if
got.
you want to just yell at me leave the radio. So.
Come on.
I'm gonna leave the radio for you.
Yeah. So cross. First call it cross.
Or I
All
have been
right.
doing. Ooh, let me see. Do we have any back-to-backs in this one? 8 to 9. Yeah, 8 to 9. I'll be back up by then. I can give you some pointers on that one. But usually I'll do first after everybody's seen halfway.
Okay.
And since we got a back-to-back, I probably wouldn't go second until at least checker, maybe even deep into the checker.
Alrighty, little guest commentary up here, Mr. David Stark jumping on the mic for us. Thank you. Welcome back to the program, David Stark.
Hey, it's great to be back. Jim's voice sounds great in the pit. Jay's voice sounds great in the pit. And for everybody watching from home, race number 8 is going to be truly a paddock clear, focusing primarily on the 60s and 70s. And to make things a little bit easier for folks that are watching here at the track, first up on the grid, 350 GP. This is going to be probably the tightest race today. We're looking at for number 7, Dave Roper, who's going to battle number 177, Walt Fulton. They go hammer and tongs all year long, all season long, and I expect nothing but a great race from these two. So 350 GPs first up. We've got number 7, David Roper up on the pole. Number 87, Eric Watts on a 250 Ducati. Number 177, Walt Fulton on an AHRMA. Number 813, Matthew Winarski. That's row number 1. Number 1R is David Krussel. I believe he's going to be on a Kawasaki A1R. Number 13R from Santa Cruz, Robert Egerter, also on an AHRMA. Then we get into vintage superbike lightweight. We're going up into the 80s. We see from Southern California, number 947, Ed Millich. I think he's going to be on a Guzzi or on some oddball Ducati he put together for this class.
Yes.
In race, next up, we're going to have Classic 60 650. Craig Tomlinson will be out there on his Brit bike. Next after that, in Wave 2, we'll have Sportsman 500. It's the Battle of the Hips. Number 33, Kevin Hipp, up against number 31X, Stephen Hipp. Father and son combination. And keeping them honest will be 777, Joseph Wright. Behind them in Wave 2, we'll have our Bears, which is British, European, American racing bikes. Are eligible for this class. A single entry, number 75, H. Herb Haig. Formula 125, if you like two strokes, we got them for you in Formula 125. Number 220, Tim Terrell. Number 13K, Rod Skaggs. And number 174, the world's fastest Mennonite, Michael J. Enns here from the Central Valley. But wait, we're not done. We also have two-stroke Classic 350 GP, one of our new classes, number M49, Thomas Hillard, and Historic Production Heavyweight, number 7S, Mitch Skaggs, who is Rod Skaggs' brother. So it's a battle of the brothers in race number 8. We have about 25 classes in race number 8, give or take 15, and we're going to see some great interclass rivalries. Plus, number 7, David Roper against 177, Walt Fulton. I'm on almost identical AHRMAs. It may say Harley Davidson on the side, but those are actually Italian racing machines. Harley Davidson was involved with AHRMA back in the 60s. They are air-cooled, pushrod valve actuated, horizontal, single-cylinder 350 four-stroke machines. Hope you caught all of that. I can see David Roper pulling up. He's up on the pole. Number 7, where is 177, Walt Fulton? The number 87 bike, that's Eric Watts. He's on a wide case Ducati 350. The AHRMA grids used to be full of the 250 and 350 Ducatis. It's great that Eric Watts has brought the number 87 bike out, and here he comes. Fashionably, not late, but fashionably on time, Walt Fulton, former pro racer. So we have a former pro racer in number 177. You have Isle of Man race winner in David Roper. They're both on almost identically painted up AHRMAs. Keep your eyes on the front row of race number 8 as it's Roper versus Fulton. 3 board is up. We're about ready to launch race number 8.
Yeah, always excellent watching those two duke it out. I love watching the Walt Fulton and Dave Roper show. It's a really, really good time. I don't know who's aboard this number 5 machine.
That's Greg Tomlinson here from down in Southern California, doing some last-minute yoga. It is California in the Bay Area after all, so he's fitting just perfectly.
Yeah.
So two-wave start, we're going to launch 350 GP first. And on the inside, it's Dave Roper up out of sight from the announcing booth. But keep your eyes on number 7, Dave Roper, and number 177, Walt Fulton, both on almost identically painted up AHRMA 350s. Second wave is about ready to launch. We've got Sportsman 500, Bears Formula 125, Historic Production Heavyweight, and two-stroke Classic 350 GP. The race here is going to be between the 33 of Kevin Hipp and the 31X of Stephen Hipp, with the 33 of Kevin Hipp getting the whole shot, but keeping him honest on the inside is Stephen Hipp, number 31X. They are related. We also have, not in the same class, but number 13K Rod Skaggs on a highly developed Honda CB160. He's not in the same class, but look out for number 7S Mitch Skaggs. They are brothers, and there may be some family squabbles here in race number 8.
Yeah, there might be some grudge matching going on. You never know what you're going to get here. I love that it's always, there's so much family racing here, David. I love it. So many brothers and sisters and husbands and wives and fathers and sons in the Hipps.
Well, I have some personal experience with that. I used to race in the same class with my dad and my wife, so I know about the race and family thing, and it's great to see. We had David Crussell and Lorraine Crussell out earlier, husband-wife combination and open two-stroke. So there's lots of we had Tim O'Mahony and his wife Karen Mahoney were in a 200 GP, and I think they were also in the 160 race. So lots of family activity here, both on and off the track. Looking now, coming out of the corkscrew, lap number 1 of race number 8. We want to see what's happening in this grudge match between number 7, David Roper, and 177, Walt Fulton.
They're neck and neck. There's about 1 bike length between them coming down out of the corkscrew right now.
Coming into turn 12, and this is the great equalizer. It's a first or second gear corner, depending what your transmission setup is. And it looks like it could be the number 7. Is that the number 7 of David Roper? It is, leading lap 1 of 6 in race number 8. Walt Fulton keeping honest, about 6 bike lengths between Roper and Fulton. Eric Watts completed 1, 2, 3 on his 350 Ducati in 350 GP. The number 947, he's a single entrant in Vintage Superbike Lightweight. That's Ed Millage on the Ducati. He's going to see if he can make his way up through traffic and lead overall in race number 8. With a lurid look behind, that's number 33 of Kevin Hipp. He's looking behind because he wants to see where number 31X of Stephen Hipp is. I think he may actually be up ahead on the track. It's the battle of the Hipps in Sportsman 500. You can tell the Sportsman classes because they got yellow number plates with black numbers. Big gaggle of bikes coming through turn 12 now, as we approach lap number 1 of race 8.
Thank you.
One of our Bears competitors on the BMW, and there is the battle of the brothers. They're on 2 very different machines, but the number 13K of Rod Skaggs on a 175cc Honda, and his brother 7S Mitch Skaggs, I believe he's on a 500cc Yamaha. Different motorcycles, but it's great to see these brothers going at it.
All right, if you're following along at home, we are currently looking around turns 5 and 6. David is peering over towards the corkscrew. Are they making their way over there?
Our race leaders in 350 GP,
Yes,
Walt
they are.
Fulton and David Roper, making their way into turn 12. I said it's an equalizer. This whole track is really an equalizer because there really aren't any long straights. Even the straights here have curves in them, or they're going uphill, they're going downhill. So this isn't necessarily a horsepower track. So when you get 2 bikes like this that are almost equally matched, it's really all about rider skill. Walt Fulton is pulling David Roper up through turn number 1, and as they disappear into turn number 2, you can see just how evenly matched these bikes are. Meanwhile, sitting in 3rd position, number 87, Eric Watts on that 350 Ducati. He's going to have company in just a second on a very different kind of Ducati. That is Ed Millage. Actually, it's a Moto Guzzi, so it's a battle of the Italians between Eric Watts on the 350 Ducati single and our man from Southern California, Ed Millage, on the Guzzi in the battle of the Hipps. I think number 31 of Stephen Hipp has already played through, with Kevin Hipp sitting in unofficial 2nd position in Sportsman 350. Again, we have about 19 races on the track at once. We're going to try to keep these things straight for you.
And Mr. Von Zipper GT, Greg Tomlinson, also just crossing start finish a few moments ago on that beautiful number 5 Triumph, who was just doing like lazy circles on the starting grid earlier, and I wasn't really sure exactly what was happening over there.
Well, he is a surfer, so he's got to keep himself limber for when he's catching those waves in Orange County. So it all kind of makes sense.
That's real talk, David.
He is. I mean, I don't. he's from Orange County. He's a
not
surfer.
lying.
He's doing his thing. It's GT style. He's doing his thing out there.
Here comes the battle of the brothers. Well, I think it's one brother goading the other. That's a Mitch Skaggs in the 7S machine. He's got a massive displacement advantage over his brother, Rod Skaggs, and looks like they're just having some playtime out there in race number 8.
Wasn't
Race
the one that
leaders
won?
are working their way through the bottom of the corkscrew right now.
I made him pay a lot of money for that bike.
They're going to be heading towards the start finish in just 1 second.
No, it goes for a good
And
price.
here they are.
Yeah. Thomas Hillard out there, only entrant in 350 GP Two-Strokes Classic. Great to hear that bike out there. And it is David Roper still leading as we're starting to see cross flags here as we reach halfway in race number 8. But Fulton, he knows what he's doing. He's going to lurk like the lurker he is, and capitalizing on his cat-like agility, may pounce on the lap that counts. That's the last one. So I think David Roper knows he's back there as Ed Milich is twisting the throttle off the right-hand clip-on. He is trying to make up positions to be the overall race winner in race 8. He's the only entrant in Vintage Superbike Lightweight. He just wants overall bragging rights. Jay, where are you from?
Yeah, when you were
right now
saying...
I'm living in Texas.
Okay. Welcome to California.
Thank you.
Not all of us have left, by the way.
Yeah.
I ran into Ed Milich in the paddock last night and asked him what he was racing, and he said, Moto Guzzi and some weird Ducati.
Well, he's picked the in his weird Ducati. He'll find these Pontas and these Alizuras, which were kind of these oddball Ducatis from the early '80s, and turn them into. He'll weaponize them, and he's very effective on all kinds of Italian bikes. Looking now for our race leaders in race number 8, 350 GP presented by NYC Norton. By the way, Kenny Cummings, the patriarch of NYC Norton, is here this weekend. He is signing autographs. He will sign a body part.
Hey, he is now, right?
Oh no, he will sign a body part.
Oh, yeah, I guess he would.
Great gaggle here coming through turn 12. It's the battle of the brothers, Mitch and Rod Skaggs. That's Mitch Skaggs on the Yamaha 500 and his brother Rod Skaggs well down on power. But look at Formula 125. He's not playing. That's the number 174 of Michael Enns, the world's fastest Mennonite. Attention to the paddock, attention to the paddock. This is first call for race number 9. Race number 9. This is first call for race number 9. Next Generation Superbike 2. Next Generation Superbike Middleweight. Sound of Singles 3. This is first call for race 9. First call for race 9. Lap traffic may become a factor in race number 8. Ed Milich on the Guzzi, making his way through some lap traffic. Meanwhile, we're keeping an eye out for our race leaders. They may have snuck by while we were
laughing.
As the 777 of Joseph Wright, one of our competitors in Sportsman 350.
Dave Roper and Kenny Cummings, birthday boys, same birthday this week.
That's a lot of talent to be born in the same week. We're
It
just
is.
noting that Dave Roper and Kenny Cummings born in the same week.
Same day.
Same day. Oh my goodness. I don't know what sign that is, but I think that's the year of the comet or something.
The sign of ominous.
It's the sign of the ominous. Exactly, Jay. That's right. The sign of the ominous. Where are our leaders in race number 8? We're looking for the exit of the Omega. Is it Fulton? Is it Roper coming out of the Omega? I'm sorry, we're not at Willow
Corkscrew.
Springs.
Wrong one,
We're at Laguna
corkscrew.
Seca.
At the corkscrew, and yes, they're coming through right now, and they are right on top of each other.
into turn 12, and it looks like Fulton has closed it up. It is going to be a last lap battle. We are seeing the white flag about to be displayed. It's drag race time coming out of 12. Is Fulton going to show his hand to Roper? Fulton lurking. Here comes Fulton pulling out. That's the lurk move we were expecting. Fulton miles an hour. That's about 4 bike lengths between himself and Roper. Now, he's got about 12 corners to see if he can make this thing stick.
Look at him.
Here comes the brothers, Mitch Skaggs, in a different class than his brother Rod Skaggs, but having fun one more lap as the world's fastest Mennonite. That's Michael J. Enns and that little Yamaha two-stroke. He is not sure where Tim Terrell is in the mix, but Tim's
Tim's not here.
Oh, Tim's not here, so he's not in the mix. So 1-2, Rod Skaggs and Michael J. Enns, the world's fastest Mennonite, in Formula 125. As the BMW of Herb Haig, our only entrant in Bears, flies through. That's Milich, who has made his way up through the pack in Vintage Superbike Lightweight on the Guzzi. So what's the word?
Tim Terrell is at home. He's under the weather.
He's not feeling well, yeah. We wish Tim a very speedy recovery.
All right, Tim Terrell, you're missing some fantastic racing here. Wish you were here to keep the rest of Formula
He knows. He already
125
peeked
honest.
in and said, "I'm watching," and I'm pouting. He already knows he's missing it. All right, I'm just gonna lurk in the corkscrew and wait for the Walt Fulton and Dave Roper show.
Fulton v. Roper, about 5 more corners to go here at Laguna Seca. It's a nail biter for sure. It's nice when a race lives up to all the pre-green flag hype, and that's exactly what we have here. Walt Fulton, David Roper. Roper still within striking distance, if that is indeed Fulton who's leading him. And Roper late breaks up into turn 12, brings that gap down to a bike and a half. Now it's Italian versus Italian. Roper versus Fulton, drag race time into the draft, and Fulton with the horsepower, and on the last lap it's Fulton who springs that cat-like move to be our unofficial race winner in 350 GP, with Roper second, and Eric Watts, if he can keep that wide case Ducati together, he will be our unofficial podium finisher for 350 GP. Attention to the paddock, this is second call for race number 9. Next Generation Superbike 2, Next Generation Superbike Middleweight, Sound of Singles 3. This is second call for race 9, second call for race 9. And in the Skaggs versus Skaggs battle, well, it was Mitch Skaggs on the much bigger Yamaha towing his brother home. Rod Skaggs is our unofficial winner in Formula 125, with Michael J. Enns, the world's fastest Mennonite, bringing home an unofficial second position in Formula 125.
Ed Milich just now crossing start-finish.
All right, Jay's lurking here. I'm going to hand the microphone back to him. Hopefully he's spelled and ready to bring us on to race number 9. Oh shit, I know a lot of these people.
You can still go ahead and do it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Okay, this is your jam. So
No, that's okay. The only thing I want to see is when we've got to do the third call, who's my back-to-back on this one. So it will be Eric Watts. Did you see him out there?
He was on the Ducati.
So he finished fairly up in the close to the front.
Yeah.
But you're already gone second, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
In case you're wondering what's going on here, I've got the whole room is just packed full of talent in here today. David Stark joining me. Jay McMacken still in the house, relaxing, taking a little bit of a pit stop because we've got David up here. David Stark, longtime racer, and tons of fun doing commentary up here with us, giving us all the behind-the-scenes details, gossip, shade, trash talking.
No trash, no gossip. These are all truths that I speak. All truth, all the time. You can't make this stuff up.
You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. So let's go ahead. We're gonna take a hot second while we get people ready for race 9, right? Or are you gonna start calling them?
No, we got a back-to-back.
But he was running
Okay.
up front, so we're on second right now. We'll wait till he gets in and give just a few more minutes, then we'll go third.
So let me shut down this race monitor and get some graphics going. Let's fix through all 20 of these.
Okay, there's the ropers that came in.
Right. All right. What is race 9?
Next Gen Superbike 2, Next Gen Superbike Middleweight SOS 3.
And that's it?
Indeed. Yep.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so we're going to give everybody just a hot second.
Brian, you know what Eric rides out there? You know if he's come in, if you'd be able to see him from this distance or not.
Everybody should be in by now.
Oh, no.
Oh, really?
No, the lead bikes just came in.
Oh, I see
We're
what
on
you
the
mean.
cool-down lap.
Oh, sorry. My
Yeah.
bad.
He's our back-to-back, and once he comes in...
I think I see him. I think he's got red leathers.
Yeah, okay. I think that's him there on the right. Now swirling into the middle.
Alrighty, so those of you who are watching at home, again, thank you so much for tuning in, taking the time to watch all of our feeds today. We've got today streaming the road racing program, and then we've got tomorrow as well here at this classic MotoFest of Monterey. 2 days of awesome race action, 13 races each day. We are heading into race number 9. We have a back-to-back racer, somebody who needs to switch a bike real fast and then head over to staging. So we're going to take just one hot second and let them switch bikes and do all that kind of good stuff. But thanks for clicking, liking, sharing, commenting. Let us know where you're watching from. I know we've got an awful lot of racers who race with us from the Midwest and East Coast who are not here today. So peek into the comments and say hey. I've got Mr. David Stark up here next to me for a hot second, jumping on the microphone for race number 9. David, you've already been around the track once today. Yes?
Yes, watch this. This is really cool. Attention to the paddock, attention to the paddock. This is third and final call for race 9. Third and final call for race 9. Next Generation Superbike 2, Next Generation Superbike Middleweight, and Sound of Singles 3. This is third and final call. Third and final call for race number 9. And that's what a call looks like.
That was brilliant. Very exciting. So if you're going to start calling people, are you going to start doing the grid calls?
We'll give it a second for the grid calls. What do you think
Well,
about
what I
that?
wanted to ask you was, how was your experience earlier? Did you-
Humbling.
It's the equalizer. It's the humbling.
It's humbling. This facility. What I share with people is that if a track is on TV, the track itself is going to be incredible. I can count the divots and issues with the pavement on this track on one hand. This is truly a world-class racing facility. It's a busy track too. There's very little time to relax. As I mentioned earlier, even the straights have corners. Blind corners. The corkscrew itself is it's a mind job.
Yeah.
Just starting to get comfortable with getting on the gas as you go through the corkscrew, and then there's Monterey Peninsula. I mean, just the setting. It's this track is just it's everything. It is everything.
It's everything.
Yeah, and everything
Speaking
is
of
also
everything,
race 9 because we got a couple people in race 9 too.
Let's go.
Jamie, are you done racing for the day, or you still got one? I'm done. Okay.
Some would argue that I never started.
That's okay.
What a diversity of sound as we put race number 9 up on the track. This is part of the AHRMA time machine. We're going to bring you into the modern era. If you're wondering, wait a minute, I came out here to see vintage bikes. We got all kinds of vintage bikes, but the great thing about the American Historic Racing Motorcycle Association is the diversity of classes and the fact that we honor alternative modern road racing, singles, twins, triples, and that's what we're going to give you here in race number 9. It's sort of that AHRMA time machine. Race 9, Next Generation Superbike 2, bikes that were raced in the late 80s, early 90s, up on the pole. The chairman of the AHRMA board of directors, that's going to be Brian Larrabeer on a early 90s Ducati number 14. Number 1Y on a Yamaha FZ, not FZR, FZ I think 750, Jim Barker here from Colorado. Number 68R, the AHRMA chairman, Craig Grantham. I think he's on a deep breathing Ducati. Number 351, Dan Wilson. Row 2 is going to be 880, James McKay. Number 16R, Roger Baker. Number 75A, Robert Schauder. Row 3 will be number 879, Michael Jobling. Number 46R, Alex White. Number 21 from San Diego, Patch Wookie Wilkening on a custom frame Ducati. Row number 5 will be Next Generation Superbike Middleweight, also for bikes from the early mid-80s. Number 700, Cameron Crockett. Number 52, BJ Borer on a Honda CBR 250. Or wait, maybe he's on his Hawk in this one. We'll find out. Both are really cool bikes. Number 64N, one of my heroes, Nick Einach, will be out there. Number 296, Michael Gallagher. Wave number 2, Sound of Singles 3. Super cool GP purpose-built bikes up on the pole. I don't know if he's on an RS-125 or an NSF 250. Either way, look out for 1E, Ralph Staropoli. Number 3Z, I think he's on an NSF 250, Dave Frick. Number 12, Adrian Jasso. Again, he's on some kind of Honda product. I think it might be an NSF. We'll find out in a second. And 321, Matthew Crabtree. Row 8, number 87, Eric Watts, I believe on a KTM. Number 923, Colleen Ermson, I believe on a KTM. Number 917, Lorraine Prussell on a Yamaha TZ125. 28, Rob Bagley on a TZ250. Number 241, Sharad Shadbag on a 250 GP bike. Number 56 from Avondale, Arizona, the Sicilian Butcher, Stephen Gillen on an RS-125. Number 781, Paul Nelson. Row 10 is number 632, Dwayne Hickson. Number 091, Nick Taylor. Number 896 from Los Angeles on a TZ125, Kevin Conley. 441 is Michael Gerard. Number 32, Paolo Civadino. Number 13, Jason Cupcake Lindquist on a TZ125. Number 760, Dustin Johnson from San Francisco on a Honda RS-125. Number 925 from San Diego on an NSF 250 Honda, that's Kerry Crest. Number 240, Christopher Blake. And number 67Q, John Quintos, noted scooter racer from back in the day, making his transition up onto large motorcycles. So look out for number 67Q, John Quintos. I'm a scooter guy, so I know
Cool,
who this guy is. So front row is heavy duty Larrabure on the big Ducati. Grantham on the big Ducati. Jim Barker on the multi-cylinder Yamaha. Row number 1 is going to be fascinating. 3 board is up, and then second wave, Staropoli, Adrian Jasso, those two, and Dave Frick in the mix as well with 329, Matthew Crabtree. Our first row of wave 2 is also going to be fascinating as Sound of Singles 3, sponsored by Rising Sun Cycles. The patriarch of Rising Sun is here today. He can hook you up with all kinds of parts for your late model 125 GP bike or NSF bike. It's great to see Stuart here, Kincaid, the patriarch of Rising Sun Cycles. Also want to thank LM2 Experience for sponsoring Next Generation Superbike, and Moto Madcap for sponsoring Next Generation Superbike Middleweight. Two boarders up, let's go racing. Race number 9, 6 laps of fun. Sideways green flag, and with the whole shot, it is Craig Grantham, the CEO of AHRMA, putting that paycheck to work. We're looking now at our Wave 2 Sound of Singles 3, 125 GP bike 2-strokes, 250cc Moto 3 bikes. Look at that front row, Staropoli, Frick, Adrian Jasso, Matthew Crabtree. One board is sideways, green flag, and it's the NSF of Dave Frick, I believe, getting the whole shot using that 4-stroke single-cylinder power. But once those 125cc 2-strokes get up on the pipe, it is, again, the great equalizer is what some commentators would describe our WeatherTech Raceway here at Laguna Seca.
Get high on the pipe, David Stark.
So let's be clear. On the pipe is an expression of how the motorcycles exhale through the expansion chamber. It is certainly not a reference to any kind of illicit behavior. What's the matter with you? What is the matter with you? I'm talking about something
I talk
beautiful,
2 strokes.
and you're making it into something.
We say high on the pipe is how we say it in Kentucky.
Oh, that, okay.
Well, that's why.
Yes.
CBD, right.
Oh, Lord.
Don't criminalize it.
Oh, Lord.
We are going to see all 3 of our classes get mixed together here very quickly. We have the smaller displacement Sound of Singles 3 bikes. They're all about corner speed, but we've got the larger displacement Next Generation Superbike 2 and Next Gen Superbike middleweight bikes. They've got the torque. So it's corner speed versus torque at this Laguna Seca track. Who knows what's going to be the fastest way around this track? We're going to find out here in race number 9.
Alrighty, here they come.
The 68R of Craig Grantham. He took that whole shot and he is converting it into a lead in lap number 1 in Next Generation Superbike. I can already start hear the wail of our Sound of Singles 3. And we should expect them to come through a final corner here in just a second. Now we're coming down through the corkscrew now, and we're going to see what's fastest these days. Is it still the purity of a 125 two-stroke, or is it the four-stroke power of an NSF? Here is the battle as the number 12 of Adrian Jasso. He is our unofficial leader in Sound of Singles 3. Ralph Starapoli sitting in second position, and that very distinctive honk, kind of a bird-like avian honk of the single-cylinder four-stroke NSF 250s mixing in with the two-stroke whale. Avian honk? Is that a thing? Is avian honk?
Avian shrill scream.
Scream like a banshee.
I think that's a
good one.
No, avian honk is fine.
That's a cologne for certain people.
For certain discerning
Very,
gentlemen
very
or
discerning.
ladies.
It's an acquired taste for sure.
It's not
Absolutely.
for everybody.
No, not yeah.
I'm glad that
It's
we
for
can-
me for sure.
It's
I
definitely
would
you are
wear
definitely
honk.
avian honk.
I think I might be wearing it now because I literally just took my leathers out.
Yeah, I think you are. I think you're definitely avian honking.
Race action
know.
now. Is this the
Oh, shoot.
68
Wrong
R
one.
of Craig Grantham? He has got company. We've got a battle, a four-way battle for checkers here in next generation Superbike 2. So Jay, this is our running order.
Yeah. Okay, should be.
Change up in next gen Superbike 2. It was Craig Grantham that got the whole shot, but it's now the 64N
Nick Einish.
of Nick Einish, actually in next gen Superbike middleweight, who's leading that class and maybe leading overall on the track.
Pat Wilkening just crossed start finish, followed by Cameron Crockett and BJ Borer.
Look at this battle between Starapoli and Adrian Jasso. Just showing you how evenly matched these NSF 250s are. This is essentially a Moto 3 race here mixed in with an AHRMA weekend. The Honda NSF 250 is essentially a 125 GP chassis with a 250cc water-cooled overhead cam 4-stroke single, and you can see just how evenly matched these Sound of Single 3 bikes are. Now mixed in with the purpose-built GP bikes and Sound of Singles 3, there's a fair number of KTM 390s, and they're competitive in their own right. Not sure if they're going to be on the podium this weekend, but that's a very popular bike for Sound of Singles 3. So if you're looking at what we're doing here this weekend and wondering where to start, maybe you don't want to build a vintage bike, the KTM 390 is a great bike to go racing with AHRMA. They're out there, the parts are available, and they can be competitive.
Yeah, I think that's super interesting that you can all, we're not just old bikes here.
Dan Wilson, number 351. He is sitting an unofficial leader, I think, in that pack at least, in Next Generation Superbike 2. Again, we've got three different races on the track at once, and you can see things are starting to get mixed up here. That, I believe, is Nick Einish on a vintage Superbike. He is competing in Next Generation Superbike middleweight, so he's going to be in his bike is from a different era, but with the right rider, he can be competitive with the newer class, our Next Generation Superbike middleweight.
All right, big pack coming through.
So, David, because we've got so many back-to-backs, let's wait till do first call at checker.
That's a firm.
Okay.
No, I was looking for the fist bump, but
Oh, yeah, sorry. I thought you were saying hold.
and the avian honk of the Moto 3 bikes, they are starting to move their way into Next Generation Superbike middleweight and our Next Gen Superbike 2, because again, they've got the corner speed. They started a wave behind, but they're starting to capitalize on higher corner speed. As the laps come down in race number 9, they are starting to move their way up into the first wave.
All right, let's go check out turn 3. That's what's on your screen right now. And the middle section of the track, you're looking at coming out of 3 into 4 towards the bottom. The middle part is start 6. I feel like our race leaders should be over by the corkscrew. What do you think about that, David?
I think our race leader's going to have a good time on the corkscrew. It is the first time you go through the corkscrew at this track. It looks like you're falling off the face of the planet. Not only is the entrance, that left-hander, blind into the corkscrew, but the right-hander that comes off of it, you cannot see where the track goes. It's invisible until you make that corner, and then suddenly the asphalt is revealed, and you're into this thing, and then you're having to make the left turn and then the right turn. It is mind-bending, and once you start wrapping your mind around it, it is just so much fun. It is just an absolutely entertaining complex of corners. All right, we're looking at our leaders in Sound of Singles 3. It looks like Ralph Starapoli is able to put a little bit of distance between himself and Adrian Jasso, number 12. But look out also for the number 3Z of David Frick. He was on the front row of wave number 2 and started with them along with 329 Matthew Crabtree.
And these grids are just so mashed up together. For more thorough results, of course, make sure you head over to Race Monitor. I can only show the top 10 finishers, so mine are a little bit mix of everybody. But if you're looking for more details, make sure you head to race-monitor.com. There we go.
Last lap flag flies, and we can start to see some battles. You see Lorraine Crusoe out there, number 917 on a TZ125, and one of our KTM 390 competitors getting chased. So a 125 liquid-cooled 2-stroke, a 390cc 4-stroke production street bike, sort of equal in our Sound of Singles 3 class. Jay, do you want first call for...
Kevin Morrow, thanks for tuning in. Russ
First call, whatever
Granger,
checker
thanks for
flies.
watching. We miss you,
I'll get
buddy.
deep into checker because
Okay.
we've got 3 to pick up. It's going to take a while.
We got pickups?
Oh yeah, 3.
Okay.
So I'm not too worried about that. So if there's an exciting battle for the lead,
Nick
checker,
Ionosh
call
just
it,
crossing
and then
start
go for it.
finish. Followed by Robert Shoudell.
Attention to the paddock, attention to the paddock. There will be a slight pause between race 9 and 10. There will be a slight pause between race 9 and 10. We have 3 bikes to pick up. There will be a slight pause between race 9 and 10. I don't want to touch this screen.
That's all right.
I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it.
It's okay.
No touching.
Don't do it.
No touching. No touching.
It's so
Don't do it,
filthy
dude.
anyway.
Don't
I'm not
touch it.
worried about
No
it.
touch. It's great to see Nick Ionosh out there, a very inspirational moto journalist and also involved in the Yamaha Champions Racing School. When I was first getting into motorcycles years ago, I read every single word that Nick Ionosh wrote, and now I'm pitted next to him in the garage, so I've been able to catch up with him, and he is out there on the 64N machine. Checkered flag flies, and it looks like Dan Wilson in Next Generation Superbike. Great performance by Dan Wilson. James McKay bringing home Greg Grantham, unofficial winner. I'm sorry, unofficial second place in Next Gen Superbike 2. It was Dan Wilson, our unofficial winner. He started on the front row, and it looks like it's Dan Wilson and then Craig Grantham. And sneaking through as well, they made their way all the way up from the second wave up into the finishers in the first wave. It's looking like it's Starapoli, then Jasso, 1-2, unofficial in Sound of Singles 3. And the 64 of Nick Ionosh bringing it home in Next Generation Superbike middle wave.
Let's go ahead and go first.
Starapoli just crossing start finish.
Attention the paddock, attention the paddock. This is first call for race 10. First call for race 10. Battle of Twins 1. Sound of Singles 1. Sound of Thunder 4. Formula 500. This is first call for race 10. First call for race 10.
Alrighty, we're heading into race 10. We did have a couple of motorcycles that had mechanicals or ran wide. We're gonna have to go pick them up with the truck, and we have a couple of folks that are racing back to back.
Yes,
So
we're back.
we are just going to take a hot second here as we wind down race number 9 before we head into 10. While we are taking that little quick pit stop, I'm gonna go ahead. Let's go ahead and thank some awesome sponsors. And, maybe grab a snack or something. But we'll be back. Don't wander too far. We'll be right back. I'm just going to throw a video on while we are taking a little bit of a hot second to go scoop up some bikes and take everybody back to the pit and paddock area.
Will this pick up my audio?
All right, gang, welcome back. We're still in a little bit of like a stand down while we let some folks go ahead and get their tire warmers all situated and switch bikes and all that jazz. I've still got Mr. David Stark up here with me.
Mr.
Coining such useful phrases as avian honk. I mean, who knew? Where does this come
The
from?
Honda engineers somewhere are are applauding. Those smart guys and gals at HRC are saying, finally, we know how to market these machines.
Avian honk. We were just chatting, which is why I wanted to turn the camera on, about some of the racers that are coming up in our next grid. And we're just getting ready to discuss a mutual acquaintance, Troy, who is racing a more modern machine, I believe.
Troy Sion, I believe, is going to be on a Kramer, purpose-built, a big KTM motor stuffed in a European chassis. These things are smoking hot bikes, and he's a very, very talented rider. He's going to be going up against some out-of-town folk. Well, I guess technically since he's from Southern California, he's out of town as well. But also looking at Sound of Thunder 4, one of AHRMA's newest classes, making room for the R3s and the KTM, or I'm sorry, the Ninja 300s. Lisa Kinberger and Paolo Cividino, they're AFM racers from the San Francisco Bay Area. They showed up at the last California AHRMA National and just they beat everybody.
They ran a clinic.
They ran a clinic, exactly. So it's great to see some of these known fast guys and gals show up against some of the best in the nation in terms of the AHRMA talent. So race number 10 is going to be fantastic. And there's only 4 races on the track at once.
Only. This isn't a real paddock clear, but it actually is pretty good sized grids out here. And these are going to be a little bit... What's going on here?
Are we ready to bring them, put them on the track? What do you think?
Let's go second call.
Okay.
All right.
Attention the paddock. Second call for race 10. Second call for race 10. Battle of Twins 1. Sound of Singles 1. Sound of Thunder 4. Formula 500. This is second call for race 10. Second call for race 10.
I want to go ahead because I promised I want to embarrass my buddy Kenny Cummings, because look at this. Because it's his birthday.
Smoldering.
Because it's his birthday.
Oh my goodness.
Or it was this week, I should say. So happy birthday,
goodness.
Casey
Wow.
number 1.
Look at that guy.
On the 109, that's the way back. This is one of his very first years racing.
It's just smoldering.
Blue steel.
No, that's Ferrari.
Yeah,
That's Ferrari.
This is super, super blue steel Ferrari jazz going on right here. I promised him that I would humiliate him by showing this.
Kenny's so hot right now.
Kenny's so hot right now. I mean, he is. Kenny is from NYC Norton. I've known him for a very, very long time, so I want to go ahead and embarrass him and put another picture, not embarrassing, but a celebration of 2 of my other favorite people out here in the paddock. Walt Fulton and David Roper, because it also is David Roper's birthday this past week, so I wanted to give him a little bit of love as well. So happy birthday, guys. Happy birthday. These are all excellent, excellent people that come racing with us.
Damn fast, too.
And
Sorry about the language out there.
Super, super, super fast. Walt Fulton, American professional racer, legend, just what else has to be said? Walt Fulton, very, very fast. David Roper, same thing. Like they're both these icons of American racing. Dave Roper, one of the only Americans to win the Isle of Man TT race. It's a little race overseas. Maybe you've heard of it.
It's on an island.
It's on an island, apparently.
With cats. Island with cats. They got their own cat.
No, all jokes aside, Dave Roper is incredibly fast. We are super, super stoked to have him come race with us here at AHRMA. We celebrate old bikes, but we also have modern bike classes, and all these legends come racing with us. Don't you want to come racing with us? If you want to come race with us, make sure you go find more information at AHRMA.org. And with that, I think we're getting into race 10.
We're going to go racing right now.
Okay.
Attention to the paddock. Third and final call for race 10. Battle of Twins 1. Sound of Singles 1. Sound of Thunder 4. Formula 500. This is third and final call for race 10. Race 10 is going to be fascinating. We have Battle of Twins 1, which is for massive displacement twin-cylinder bikes. Sound of Singles 1, which is for big, fast single cylinders. And then Sound of Thunder 4, which is one of the newest classes for AHRMA, reflecting the fact that the popularity of the 300cc parallel twin bikes out there and the KTM 390 want to bring more people into the AHRMA family, and it's great to see how the R3 and the Ninja 300, which are popular in other racing programs, do against the KTM, and also how they do against bikes from different eras. Example, Formula 500, one of our formula classes for bikes in the 1970s. You're going to see disc brakes on these bikes, so evolution in technology. Mark Morrow is going to be out there on a highly developed Yamaha RD400. So if you have old RD400 race bikes sitting around, you can run it in Formula 500. And David Roper's back. I'm not sure what he's going to be on. It might be on a super cool 4-cylinder Honda that Dr. Tom Markart from Colorado put together for him. So we'll find out as we set up race number 10.
that one of those 250 six cylinders?
It's not the 6. It's some street bike that he pulled together. If you've never met Dr. Tom Marquardt, he used to race a CBX.
Yeah.
And he's got this little Honda Civic that he put like some massive, I don't know if it's like an Integra engine in, but he's
Mad scientist.
he's an optician.
Yeah.
And his racing team was Eyeball Engineering.
No kidding.
Yeah, so there's all kinds of irony here. Here's our grid for race number 10. We've got Ballad Twins 1, presented by Fast by Faraci, up on the pole on a BMW R90, I believe, is number 111, Gary Orr. Number 14, Brian Larrabure on a deep breathing Ducati. And number 23T, Louis Chacon. Sound of Singles 1, presented by William Dokianos. Up on the poles will be 1F, Kevin Greimel. Number 793, Norbert the Flash Katana, one of our Bay Area racers. Number 65, Yuri Bagarian. Number 777, Joseph Wright. Row 4 of number 022, Jake Barker. Number 90D, Darren Galvin. I hope he makes the start. I think he might have had to get off yesterday, but hopefully he's back. Number 919, Daniel Buchner. Number 123, on the Kramer, row 5, Troy Sihan. Number 16, James Derek Mayo. Number 71, Hannah Johnson. I think she's on a KTM. Number 226, Tim O'Mahony on that great TZ250 Yamaha 600 combo plate. And number 13L, Wesley Lacus. Wave 2, Sound of Thunder 4, presented by Wick Wilkerson Racing. This is going to be the KTM 390s, the R3s, the Ninja 300s. Number 87, Eric Watts in row 8. Number 923, Colleen Ermsum. Number 887, Lisa Kinberger. Local gal goes real fast. Number 32, Paulo Civadino. Keep an eye on for him as well. From Avondale, Arizona, the Sicilian Butcher. 56, Stephen Gillen on his Ninja 300. 36, Damien Dofo on his KTM. I think he's going to be out on the KTM. Number 28, Rob Bagley on a 2-stroke. Number 336, Mookie Wilkerson. What a great... I want to be Mookie Wilkerson. Number 712, Jordan Colon. Number 761, Sam Kaufman. 185, Kimi Sacco. Number 772, Bruce Berry. Going back to the 70s in Formula 500 in Wave 3, 1D defending national champion Mark Morrow on the RD. 3Z, Dan Skolich. Number 7, David Roper, I think, on a deep breathing Honda. 709, Joe Ackley. And 250, Mark Atkinson. That is your grid for race number 10. 1, 2, 3, 4 races in race number 10. 3 wave starts. So if you like to see the green flag, you're going to love race 10.
You're going to see it so many times today. Gary Orr. I love watching him race in this class and just puts the hammer down on this beautiful, tricked out BMW R9T. Very fast, very cool. I love to watch it.
I'm sensing we've got some great affection for BMW motorcycles up here in the announcing booth.
I do. I have to admit. I mean, I love all the bikes, but this I really, really love watching him race. It just has such a unique sound. I mean, you just don't hear boxers out here too terrifically often.
And yeah, the horizontally opposed liquid, they're liquid cooled, right?
The R9T?
Yeah, the R9T.
Technically, it's air cooled.
Technically. Okay, technically. On paper, air cooled. 3 borders up. Let's launch Battle of Twins 1 and Sound of Singles 1 first. So we've got the big twins up front. 3-rider go. Gary Orr, 111. 14, Brian Larrabure. 23T, Louis Chacon on. Looks like he's on the R90. So we got a couple R90s sandwiched in there with the big Ducati. And then our Sound of Singles 1 will be starting in row number 3. So different sounding motorcycles. Great torque off the line. Keep your eyes open for 022 Jake Barker making his AHRMA debut. That's why he's got the green vest on. His dad, Jim Barker, was out here earlier, so it's a family affair. And then we have Wave 2 Sound of Thunder 4 for the KTMs and the Ninja 300s and the R3s. And then Wave 3 will be Formula 500. Great combination of bikes out there. I am seeing the number 7 of David Roper. Is he sitting side saddle? No, he's not. On that cool Honda multi. He'll be up against Mark Morrow on the RD 400.
Mark Morrow, I think, had to pull off earlier. I think, did he have some bike trouble or something?
Yeah, he was shaking his head in disgust.
Oh. Yes.
Green flag as we launch Ballad Twins 1. And coming up through the middle, I believe that's Norbert Katana, number 793, with the hole shot coming from the second row, launching that single-cylinder motorcycle. We go back to the one board sideways. We're about to launch Sound of Thunder 4, one of AHRMA's newest classes. Let's see if it's going to be a KTM 390 using that single torque, or if the parallel twin bikes are going to get those things spinning up on the cam. And what a great launch on the inside, Eric Watts. Nice hole shot on the KTM 390 as the number 32 having some problems. That's Paolo Civadino pulling off. Bad start for him. Let's see if we can get that bike going. Now we go back to wave number 3, combination of 2 strokes and 4 strokes. We've got a couple RD-based machines out there bracketing the front row, but look out for the number 7 of David Roper on that And look at this battle of the RDs. 709, is that Joe Ackley? May have been out of position on the grid, but I think 709 of Joe Ackley had the hole shot as Formula 500 launches. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 races in race number 10.
What an excellent sound that last wave was.
Oh.
Such great
High on the
noises.
pipe, I think is
High
what
on
some.
the pipe.
High on the pipe is how you describe the launch of race number 10. Indeed.
I'm telling you, I don't know if it's a two-stroke thing, a dirt bike thing. That's how we say it in Kentucky.
It's a two-stroke dirt bike thing.
Okay. All right, right now in the middle of the screen, you're watching turn 3 as they head towards 4, and that is going to be heading towards 4, and then the top part is 5 and 6.
Big twin-cylinder motorcycles. Number 14 of Brian Larrabee, the chairman of the board, and that's not just a joke. He is leading Louis Chacon and number 111 Gary Orr. So Ducati leading BMW. I'm so sorry. As we get race number 10 underway. Sound of Singles, second overall on the track, but leading Sound of Singles is Troy Cianon on that Kramer. He is actually leading Gary Orr. So our man Troy Cianon, he came from row number 5 to sit second position overall on the track in about 12 corners. That just shows the talent of this guy, specifically on a purpose-built machine like that Kramer.
Yeah, Troy's really, really talented. Very, very fast guy. Races with more modern organizations, so I always love when we see him out here with us at AHRMA.
Hannah Johnson, number 71. She is sitting overall 7th position on the track right now. Let's see what she can do if she can make her way into the top 5. Hey, here's that sound. Here's that sound that you love as that RD400 comes flying by. That's the number 709 of Jay Ackley. He is currently leading David Roper on the 4-stroke Honda that I believe Dr. Tom Marquardt put together. As Mark Morrow, number 49 machine, also on a highly developed Yamaha RD400. He had some bike problems earlier. Not sure if he's got all the gremlins worked out, but he is currently competing slightly off the podium in Formula 500.
Race leaders.
Our race leader continues to be Brian Larrabee, and Troy Cianon sitting second position now overall on the track. He wants overall bragging rights and honors in this one. So let's see what number 123, Troy Cianon. He's got those very distinctive leathers and that distinctive gold motorcycle. That's that Kramer purpose-built racing frame with a KTM, big KTM stuffed in it. Kevin Grimmel, number 1F, he is sitting 8th overall on the track right now as our combined Ballot Twins 1, Sound of Singles 1, Sound of Thunder 4, and Formula 500. Okay, so who's our leader in Sound of Thunder 4?
I think we're okay.
I'm going to hand this microphone back to you after this race. What do you think about that?
That's fine. Okay, that's fine. I'm okay with it. I'm just checking. I'm pretty sure we got a back-to-back. Yeah, we got 2 back-to-backs in this one. So. Okay, here's one. How do you say his name? Paolo
Sabatino.
Sabatino.
Or you can say Paolo Sabatino.
No, not that Italian. Last name is McMacken. No.
All right, one of our KTM 390 competitors, that's number 28, passing the start-finish right now. Lots of KTMs in Sound of Thunder 4. That's Rob Bagley as the 77 machine. Joe Ackley out there putting down the laps. Current overall unofficial leader in Formula 500.
All right, we got race leaders making their way back through here in just a second.
I want to find out our leader in Sound of Thunder 4. This is one of the newest classes for AHRMA, as Brian Larrabee, overall leader on the track and in Ballot Twins Formula 1. As Gary Orr on the BMW R19 makes his way through. Coming out of the corkscrew, our leaders in Sound of Thunder 4 should be on the scene shortly. As another one of those Kramer purpose-built machines passing start-finish. Okay, 887. Looking for 887.
Let's go see what's going on in the middle part of the track out here. This is turns 5 into 6 at the top of your screen.
All right, you can see just two very evenly matched Yamaha R3s passing start-finish. Meanwhile, the number 87 machine, that's Eric Watts, he's being chased by the number 56 of Stephen Gillen. Keep your eyes on that race. That's going to be fascinating because Eric Watts, number 87, he's on the KTM 390. That's a liquid-cooled single-cylinder machine based on a street bike. Stephen Gillen, liquid-cooled twin-cylinder machine, also based on a street bike. So if you're wondering, well, what's faster on the track between the KTM or a Ninja 300, we're going to find out in race number 10, Sound of Thunder 4.
Laraber crossing start finish in 1, followed by Troy and Daniel Booker.
So overall on the track right now, our overall leader, Brian Laraber, on the massive Ducati, sitting second and third on the track right now. Troy Cianan on a much smaller bike, the Kramer, and our man number 919, Daniel Booker, also on a single-cylinder motorcycle as well. So going back to the Laguna Seca being the great equalizer, here we've got the big displacement Ducati, but the Sound of Singles bikes, lighter bike, turns going a little quicker, carry more corner speed, kind of equalizes things out with the large displacement Ducati. Looking now, coming out of the corkscrew, I want to see this battle between number 87 Eric Watts and number 56 Stephen Gillen. All right, and looks like Stephen Gillen moving into an unofficial third position in Sound of Thunder 4. He was able to clear away from the 87 of Eric Watts, but we're only about halfway through this race. So Watts, he's got that KTM with that single-cylinder engine, lots of great torque, going to be very helpful coming out of turn 12 onto the front straight. What that KTM doesn't have, though, is the avian honk that makes the NSF such a distinctive and beautiful sounding motorcycle. Okay,
Agreed. Agreed.
Let's go first at Checker because we've got a couple back-to-backs.
Running order overall on the track right now continues to be Laraber leading in Battle of Twins 1, then Troy Sienna and Daniel Booker 1-2 in Sound of Singles 1. How's the public doing at home? Are they enjoying their experience, their virtual experience here?
Jeff Dixon says, the sound and smell of a two-stroke.
Indeed.
Yes, sir.
Indeed.
Travis Blevins wants to know, how did you do out on your racing? I'm assuming that's who you're asking. David, right?
I finished.
David says he finished.
Finished the race. To finish first, you must first finish.
That's right.
Pete Ludy, thanks for tuning in. Matthew Carlson, thanks for watching.
Last lap flag flies as we are going to wrap up race number 10. Lots of battles in Sound of Singles 1, and as we start to see a little change up here at the lead of Sound of Thunder 4, I think that's some of our locals going real fast on R3s. We start to see the checkered flag displayed, and look at this, they got one lap in this little grudge match between Eric Watts and Stephen Gillen. Watts closing, but Gillen has about 7 bike lengths, make that 7 to 10 bike lengths on Watts. 12 corners to go as we wrap up race number 10.
Checks are out.
Checkered flag flies for Brian Laraber, Troy Sianan, and Daniel Booker. Wow, going hammer and tongs. I think they're both on Kramer's. Great performance for these two. As a gaggle of bikes makes their way through turn 12 as we wrap up race number 10. And David Roper on number 7, holding off the number 77. David Roper may be our unofficial race winner in Formula 500. So if you're wondering, is it 2-stroke or 4-stroke in Formula 500? Well, today, on Saturday, it's the 4-stroke. Now, we're going to run the whole program tomorrow, so if you like what you saw today, come on back. We're going to run the whole program again tomorrow.
Let's go first, please.
All right, we're looking now for that grudge match between Stephen Gillen and Eric Watts. Who's going to take that last step on the podium in Sound of Thunder 4? I believe the top 2 steps are going to be some Yamaha R3 racers.
Throw first call for 11, please.
Attention the paddock, attention the paddock. This is first call for race 11. First call for race 11. Formula Thunder, next generation Superbike lightweight. This is first call for race 11. First call for race 11.
Thanks, pal.
Pal, I moved up to pal. All right, our unofficial winners in Sound of Thunder 4, but I want to see, is it going to be a Ninja 300 or a KTM 390 on the last step of the podium? Here is the drag race. Stephen Gillen dragging his left knee through turn 12. Let's see if our man Eric Watts has got anything in the torque department on that KTM, and it looks like Stephen Gillen unofficially may be standing on the third step of the podium in Sound of Thunder 4. Eric Watts absolutely keeping him honest on that KTM 390. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure being back on the microphone for a little while. I am going to hand the microphone back to the official announcer, All AHRMA Racer. Looking forward to seeing you at the award ceremony tonight. Hopefully the world's fastest, or at least the fastest award ceremony on the West Coast. And everyone be safe. I'm going to hand the microphone back to Jay. And Jackie, always thank you for your hospitality as well.
Thank you, friend. Mr. David Stark joining us up
David
here.
Stark, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed him. He's definitely got the gift that I do not have.
The
You don't want this gift. You don't want this gift.
The avian
for the descriptive geometry, I guess we should say, the descriptive English. So I appreciate him coming
Affliction
out
gift.
and helping out. We'll get back to racing here in just a minute. Again, we're at first call. We're at first call for race number 11, Formula Thunder, Next Gen Superbike Lightweight. Again, first call for Formula Thunder and Next Gen Superbike Lightweight. Right? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Just those two.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Really? Really? Because we just did 10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Are you taking a beat between these two? Do you have like a stand down situation?
Well, that's what we're doing right now. Yeah, we got a back to back. Of course, one of them, Troy, was running second, so he's one of the back to backs.
Definitely.
And then I don't see the other guy, Pavadino.
I just wanted to go ahead, for those of you watching at home, we, here at these classic MotoFests, it is definitely a little bit of everything goes on here. It is road racing, obviously, we're showing you that right now. It is dirt racing, it is flat track racing, it is a bike show, a swap meet, parties, music, food trucks. We do everything here. Heck, we had Santa and Mrs. Claus here today. We do everything. Thursday night, we had the most excellent bike night. Tons of just classic, gorgeous bikes showed up at a restaurant here in Carmel. Just couldn't be any more scenic, just stunning. It's called the Baja Cantina. It is right across from the Quail Lodge. And I made a little video, so I wanted to go ahead and show you guys a little bit of behind the scenes of what we get into during these MotoFests. So go ahead and check out our bike night.
David's announcing style, he's going to be helping us out, officiating the trophy presentation later on this afternoon or this evening once we get done with our racing. So again, thanks for David for helping out with that one. We'll put the word out for when everybody needs to assemble for that one. Then later on this evening, we are going to have date night, dinner and a movie. That's right, date night. The food truck dinners are down there, and the feature movie, I believe, is Why I Race. I think that's the name of the movie that we're going to watch, Why I Race. Well, I think we all know that, but we all have our different reasons on that one. But again, that will be the movie tonight, and that'll start here looking at the schedule sometime after 6 to 10 is when they've got date night. So I would anticipate the movie will start probably around 7:30. We'll try and get some more firm times on that later on this afternoon when we get ready to go. Right now we're at second call. Again, we're at second call. Race number 11, Formula Thunder, Next Gen Superbike Lightweight.
And I wanted to go ahead and throw up on the screen right now for those of you watching at home. The map of the event. It's tough to see because there's a lot going on, but that's exactly why I wanted to show it to you. There is a lot
Just about
going
30
on.
seconds away from third.
Look at
About
this.
30 seconds.
There's a motocross area. There's trials. There's cross country. There is a short track, flat track area. There's the road racing. There's so much going on here today and tomorrow. So if you are in the area, you haven't missed out. We're doing this all again. We had such a good time. We're doing it all over again tomorrow. Just about the exact same layout and everything else is going on. And scheduling and all that jazz. So make sure if you missed out on today, if you want to come and check it out tomorrow, you are more than welcome. This is absolutely open to spectators. There still is tickets for sale. There's plenty of room here to spread out. It is beautiful out. The weather could not be any nicer. We strongly encourage you to go on ahead and come check out this awesome race event.
Attention out in the paddock. Looks like we've got everything addressed out there. Let's go third call. Third and final call for race number 11, Formula Thunder and Next Gen Superbike Lightweight. You folks are up right now. If you want to pull the tire warmers off the bike, bring them down at the stands. Grab your helmet, zip up your leathers, come on up. It's time to go racing. Again, it's third call, third and final call for race number 11, Formula Thunder, Next Gen Superbike Lightweight. You folks are up right now. If you want to come on up, we'll send you out immediately here for your hot lap. Third call for race number 11. Announced to start, third's gone out.
And we're just giving everybody a couple moments. We did have some racers that are racing the last race and this current race that's heading to the staging area right now. So we want to make sure to give them a second to switch bikes or throw gas in, whatever they've got to do. And that way they've got plenty of time, and away they go.
As the riders take to the track, here's how they're going to grid up out there. For the Formula Thunder, sponsored by Elite Construction Concepts, LLC. Row number 1, 660 John Beldock, 13X Steve Metz, 329 Matthew Crabtree, and 222R Jeff Graham. Row number 2 is 4X Urban Kolick, 77L Patrick Lansu, and bike number 042 Thomas Montano. Row number 3, it's 090 Christian Miekma, 102 Lajes Suik, bike number 68R Craig Grantham, and bike number 351 Dan Wilson. Row number 4, it's 203 David Moss, 11T Mark Jurczyk, and bike number 175 Matthew Canava. Row number 5, it's bike number 2 Peter Katsakis, 198 Dylan Connors, 174 Jimmy Weidman, and 33C Eric Goldbranson. Row number 6, it's 18X Kevin Botha, 188 Luke Luciano, and 123 Troy Sahin. Row number 7, it's 91X Alex Taylor, 99T Todd Murray, 045 Curtis Adams, and 328 Jim Rosinski. Row number 9, it's 327 Kenji Watanabe, and 885 Ted Kasparian. For the Next Gen Superbike, presented by Pool Professors of Tallahassee and Brian Wells. Back on row number 10, it's bike number 700 Cameron Crockett, 512 BJ Boer, X95 Andrew Malkin, 32 Paolo Civadano. Then row number 11, it's bike number 70 Chuck Burnett, 880 James McKay, and bike number R66 Mike Root. And then rounding out your field on row number 12, it's 278 Richard Brodock, and bike number 779 Vestino Koitza. That is your field here for race number 11 for the Formula Thunder field, sponsored by Elite Construction Concepts. Formula Thunder is in its 4th season, and it's where all of our fastest modern bikes race heads up. It's open to all next-gen superbikes, Sound of Thunder, and Battle of Twins motorcycle. Even the Sound of Singles and Open Two-Strokes can join the fray. And for the next-gen superbike lightweight, this is sponsored by the Pool Professor of Tallahassee and Brian Wells. The Pool Professor of Tallahassee is a swimming pool service, repair, remodel, and installation company in Tallahassee, Florida. They're pleased to sponsor the next-gen lightweight class and look forward to supporting and growing AHRMA for years to come. For the class itself, this was a new class in 2018 to showcase what was raced in the 80s through the early 90s. Eligible machines in this class can be from any market in the world. Period OEM and race team paint schemes are strongly encouraged. What you'll see out there on the grid could be the Moto YB7 400cc's, the Honda Hawks and Honda 500 Interceptors, Suzuki's GS 550 Twins, Yamaha's older FZ600s and FZR 400s, and even the Yamaha RZ 350 is represented out there as the field starts to grid up here in anticipation of the start. Oh, David is definitely a wealth of knowledge on these bikes.
Isn't David great? You never know what he's gonna say. It's always entertaining, though. It's always a good time. I'd like to point out in this grid, though, Richard Brodock runs our flat track program. That's cool to see him out here.
Oh, does he? Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Excellent. Fast racers there on the front row, waiting for the green flag to wave in just a moment. And it does wave, and it looks like bike number 042, Thomas Montano, way back on that second row, gets a rocket start as he's trying to work his way around the outside of that lead row as one of the slower riders finally gets himself going. The starter looking back towards turn number 1 and over to 2 to make sure that everybody's free and clear before he sends the second wave out. Bike down in 2. I heard it, but he didn't. Race leaders working their way out of 3 over to 4 to turn 5 here in the opening laps. We'll wait for them to come back around as they're working their way up through 5, up to the top of the hill through 6 and 7, trying to get to the corkscrew as quickly as they can.
You're seeing that first wave at the top of your screen right now. Second wave is at the bottom, going from 3 to 4, as first wave is making their way through the backside of the track, heading towards that corkscrew.
Can you see 1 and 2 or not?
Not 1, no.
Okay. Race leaders out of turn number 9, down the hill through turn number 10, over towards turn number 11. One rider breakaway's got quite a bit of room as they dive through that final left-hand turn and then up through the gearbox one more time, and the Crimson Adventure happens. What a shame, Crimson Adventure, as the don't even get, I don't think, even one full lap. We'll get back with you and let you know what's going on here in just a moment.
Yeah, it looked like somebody ran wide right off of that very first lap over 1 into 2.
Yeah.
Everybody, it sounds like everybody's okay. There wasn't, I think somebody just ran wide.
Well, just a split second before Ed threw the flag, I heard control come on and say bike down in 2, and Ed's hand was already going up. It's like, oops. So, but I don't know that that's what caused the red. Once again, we've had our first Crimson Adventure here. We'll stay tuned. We'll bring everybody back into hot pit lane and let you know what's going on. I'm not sure how fast we can get this addressed, but we'll let you know in just a moment. Want to let everybody know the swap meet is still going on out there. If you want to stomp in, see if you can find that hard-to-find part you've been searching eBay or Craigslist for, or maybe even find yourself your next winter project over there. Again, the swap meet's still there. Go for announce. Copy that. Looks like we're holding everybody out there on hot pit lane. Okay, attention out there in the paddock. It's going to take us just a moment to get this situation addressed, so we're going to send the bikes back to your paddock area. Definitely want to stick close to the machines. Get your helmet off, get yourself a drink. It's up to you whether you want to put the tire warmers back on or not. I don't think it's going to be that long of a delay, so tire warmers are your question or not. We'll get this thing assessed as quickly as we can, get it addressed rather, as quickly as we can, and then roll the calls, a full 3 calls to restart this one. So be aware, when we do get the situation taken care of, we will roll the calls fairly quickly to bring you guys back up again. So sending the riders back to the paddock for race number 11. We'll get the calls going here in just a few moments once we get the situation all taken care of over in the turn 2 area.
Okay, so yeah, as you just heard Jay announce, unfortunately a bike went a little bit wide, I think, over in 1 into 2. We're gonna take a second and clean that all the way up, obviously, but it's a really tough corner. It's kind of blind, it goes up and then down, so we have to make sure that that's cleared all the way out, and then we're gonna go back to racing. So we're gonna take just a second, in case you're wondering what the red flag is and why we're pulling bikes off the track, and so that way those bikes can put tire warmers back on. This is a pretty high horsepower class, so these folks want the tire warmers and all the things. So we're going to head it back to the paddock and then send them back out here as soon as we get that all taken care of. So while we're doing that, let's go ahead and check out a great video showing you some of the awesome stuff going on this weekend
what
here in
is
Monterey.
the Cycle Corral track walk? It's supposed
And I don't know if some of these same familiar faces are here or not, but I just wanted to also jump on. We had another MotoFest going on in Topeka, Kansas about a month or so ago, and we had a really awesome asphalt short track. We ran a little short track race there, which was a hoot, and people brought out pit bikes and mini bikes. Anyway, I made another little video of that, so let's go check that out while we were taking a hot second to go ahead and get everything situated during this red flag. I saved it, that way you can check it out.
Next Gen Superbike Lightweight. You guys will be right back up here. If you want to get yourselves prepped up, we'll start this thing. Like I said, we're going to roll the calls. Again, first call for race number 11, Formula Thunder and Next Gen Superbike Lightweight. First call for race number 11, Formula Thunder and Next Gen Superbike Lightweight.
Yeah, I wanted to go ahead and just show you that little footage of some flat track racing. We did a little asphalt short track. Just as a refresher, just to let you know, a reminder, as it were, that we don't just do road racing over here. We do dirt racing, we do flat track, we do all sorts of great racing over here. And even though our name is American Historical Racing Motorcycle Association, we also have some more modern classes as well. So if you want to come experience some of this fun and excitement for yourself, which you should, make sure you head over to AHRMA.org to find out how and to see our schedule.
Attention in the paddock. Let's go second call. Race number 11, Formula Thunder and Next Gen Superbike Lightweight. You folks will be right up here in just a moment. We'll send you out and try and get this race run. Again, it's second call. Second call for Formula Thunder, Next Gen Superbike Lightweight. Second call for race number 11. Second call.
And some flyers from our event this summer, this season. Check these guys out. Hopefully we can review. Again, our president is AHRMA.org. just called second call, which means we're getting everybody back towards the staging area, and we're gonna do this over again. Is this? I totally lost track of where we're at. Race number 10,
Race number
11.
We're
Race
11.
number 11 of a 13 race day. So we've got a handful more races to go for today's program, but don't fret. We're doing it all over again tomorrow. So make sure you come on back either here on the live feed, here at the AHRMA Facebook, YouTube pages, or wherever you're finding us out there on the internet, or if you are on the West Coast, come and experience this for yourself. We're doing this all over again tomorrow. The live feed will be open again tomorrow morning for about an hour and some change. Then we do take a break for lunch, and then we come back in the afternoon.
Let's go third call. Third and final call for race number 11. If you folks want to bring them back up, we'll try this one more time. Again, it's third call. Third and final call for race number 11. Formula Thunder Next Gen Superbike Lightweight. First call for race number 11. Third call for race number 11. And Next Gen Superbike. Third call for race number 11. Bring them back up. We'll get you going again for a hot lap and then finish up this race. Third call, race number 11. Bring them on back up.
All right. Jay says bring him back up. Jay says he's ready.
Jay says he's tired. Doing first call for third call. Come on, Jay. Wake up.
All the calls, Jay.
I'm telling you.
All
Need
right.
to get David back up here and finish up for me. Take a nap.
Aaron Berkeley, thanks for tuning in. Kendra McDonald, thanks for watching. Matthew Carlson, thanks for tuning in. And Dean Moses, thanks for jumping on the live feed. As always, thanks for clicking, liking, sharing all of these live feeds. Feel free to go on ahead. Smash that share button. Share these with your friends that love watching awesome motorcycle racing. Kate Jorgensen, how come it is only streaming the road racing and not the VMX? I'm a one-woman army up here with Mr. J. We are a two-person team up here.
Yeah.
So I cannot be two places at once. So I'm over on the road racing side. But yeah, VMX, I would love to do that. But also logistically, it would be really hard to stream through the trees and forests and things. But I hear motocross isn't quite that bad. But yes. So the short answer is I cannot be more than one place at once. But I hear you. I love
They're
vintage.
ready to go.
I love vintage motocross too. I don't blame you. There we go. They are ready.
No, I'm sorry, I forgot to give it to you.
Race Control says they are ready.
As the riders take to the track, they're going to take their original grid positions, so here they line up for the Formula Thunder, sponsored by Elite Construction Concepts LLC. Bike on row number 1, bike number 660, John Beldock, 13X, Steve Metz, 329, Matthew Crabtree, and 222R, Jeff Graham. Row number 2, it's 4X, Irvin Kolek, 77L, Patrick Lansu, and 042, Thomas Montano. Row number 3, it's 090, Christian Miekma, 102, Lajia Suk, and bike number 68R, Craig Grantham, and 351, Dan Wilson. Row number 4, it's 203, Dave Moss, 11T, Mark Jurasek, and 175, Matthew Canava. Row number 5, it's 2P, Peter Kotsakis, 198, Dylan Connor, 174, Jimmy Weidman, and 33C, Eric Gulbranson. Row number 6, it's 18X, Gavin Botha, 188, Luke Luciano, and 123, Troy Sienna. Row number 7, it's 91X, Alex Taylor, 99T, Todd Murray, 045, Curtis Adams, and 328, Jim Rosinski. Row number 8, it's 327, Kenji Watanabe, and bike number 885, Ted Kasparian. For the Next Gen Superbike Lightweight Field, sponsored by the Pool Professor of Tallahassee and Brian Wells. Back on row number 10, it's bike number 700, Cameron Crockett, 512, JB Bonner, X95, Andrew Malk, and 32, Paolo Row number 11 is bike number 70, Chuck Burnett, 880, James McKay, and bike number R66, Mike Root. And rounding out your field on row number 12, it's 278, Richard Brodock, and bike number 779, Vlastimil Kotsia. That is your field here for race number 11. Oh, he didn't make it. Sorry, dude. Of course, maybe he didn't want to.
So it is running late to the grid?
Yeah, they just had to let him through, and I know he's on the front row. I think it was Steve Metz. I think
He
that's
might
his
have not wanted
number.
the warm-up lap.
He might not have, too. He's like, you know what? I've already done this. I'm cool.
He's already seen it. He's done the tourist thing.
Yeah.
He's got the whole tour going on.
I didn't get a number for who was off over him, too, though.
All right, race number 11.
guess it was Patrick Lansu because he's not on the center of the middle row, or it could have been Grantham because he's missing from that third row. As the green flag waves, looks like Crabtree and Jeff Graham to get a good start, but here comes 042 Thomas Montano once again from that second row, trying to work his way forward as the field over the crest of the hill down through turn number 1 into turn number 2.
On your camera right now, they're coming up 2 into turn 3. And the launch for second wave.
Second wave away. Looks like bike number 700, Cameron Crockett, leading that field up over the rest of the hill to turn 1 down into turn number 2. Meanwhile, race leaders all the way through turn number 3 over into 4, working their way up to 5 and through the top of the hill, headed towards the corkscrew here on the second restart of race number 11.
And right now, first wave is making their ways through 5 and 6, heading towards the backside of the track. And on the lower part of the screen, this is the second wave, going from 3 to 4. Entering the corkscrew right now is first wave.
Looks like our race leaders working their way through the corkscrew, trying to figure out who's going to lead and who's going to follow as they're working single file. Down the hill they go through turn number 10 over into turn number 11. Not quite the breakaway as we saw last lap, as it's a three-way battle out of turn number 11 as they thunder up that front straightaway to lead lap number 1. It is going to be 042 Thomas Montano, then 351 Dan Wilson, 33C Eric Gulbranson, then bike number 13X Steve Metz, and 123 Troy Sahana round out your top 5. 222R Jeff Graham back there in 6th, 660 John Beldock in 7th, 99T Todd Murray back there in 8th, 174 Jim Weidman in 9th, and bike number 188 Luke Luciano rounding out your top 10 as that Formula Thunderfield living up to its name as they rocket down through turn number 2 over into turn number 3 for the next gen Superbike lightweight field as they work their way across the start finish line. We'll get that running order here for you in just a moment. Looks like it's going to be bike number 880, James McKay out front with bike number 700, Cameron Crockett back there in second in that class with bike number 512, JB Bauer out there in that third place position. Bohrer.
Borer.
Okay.
Like you're bored. Borer.
Yeah, Borer. Then it looks like bike number 70, Chuck Burnett, are in that fourth place position for Next Gen Superbike. Then it looks like it's going to be, and I believe that's the field for Next Gen Superbike, as your Formula Thunder field once again out of that final turn onto the front straightaway. 3-rider breakaway. Out front is still 042 Thomas Montano, leading 33C Eric Gulbranson. Eric's put himself up on that second step of the podium. 351 Dan Wilson. Then a real battle from 4th all the way back through 7th with his 123 Tori Sahan. 222R Jeff Graham, 13X Steve Metz drops back a few positions, holding on to 6th, and 174 Jimmy Weidman back there in that 7th place position. 660 John Beldock drops back a couple of positions himself, still holding on to 8th. 99T Todd Murray back there in 9th, and 188 Luke Luciano rounding out your top 10, as halfway flag should be coming out here pretty soon. Actually, might be past halfway.
Alright, right now we have got that first wave making their way through 3, heading towards 4. Very quickly, keeping the Thunder in the Thunder class.
No kidding. The 3 riders out there, Montano, Gulbranson, and Wilson, definitely keeping the Thunder in the Formula Thunder class as they continue to race each other hard and set a blistering pace for the rest of the field, trying to keep up as they're once again working their way through the back section of the course here, waiting for him to come around one more time. And here the trio come as they dive down into the braking zone on that final turn through that left-hand turn, back up through the gearbox, white flag in hand as a couple of the bikes really put down the power and off the front wheel. It's 33C Eric Gilbranson out front. 351 Dan Wilson back there in second. 042 Thomas Montano must have had a bit of a moment as he went from lead to that third place position, but still there within striking distance as the white flag coming out and letting them know they're on their final lap. Attention to the paddock, attention to the paddock. Let's go first call. First call for the sidecars. You folks will be up here in just a moment. Again, first call. First call for race number 12, the sidecars. You folks will be up here in a moment. Again, first call for race number 12, the sidecars. Bike number 33C, Eric Gilbranson holding on to the lead, but Dan Wilson on 351 and 042 Thomas Montano trying to figure out how they can work their way to stand on that top step of the podium as they're back over the turns 5, 6, and 7 area here on this exciting final lap of race number 11, the Formula Thunder and Next Gen Superbike Lightweight Race.
Yeah, I don't know if that first pack got caught up in traffic or what happened, but just, the leader switched all the way down to 3.
Yeah. Well, no, there's no traffic out there. There's still.
That's what I was thinking. Is I don't think they're caught up in anybody.
Race leaders down out of turn 9 through turn number 10 here on this final lap. The lead 2 bikes trying to work the draft with the third place rider dropping back a little bit. I believe that's Montano back there in third. Here comes your race leaders out of turn number 11 down the front straightaway trying to work the draft, but not going to be able to pull it off as it's going to be 33C Eric Gilbranson leading 351 Dan Wilson unofficially first and second, and 042 Thomas Montano coming home there unofficially in third as the rest of the field thunders by themselves. Next across the line is going to be bike number 222R, Jeff Graham, and bike number 123, Troy Sahan, rounding out your top 5. 174, Jimmy Weedman back there at 6. 660, John Beldock moving himself forwards a couple positions to hold on to 7th. 99, T. Todd Murray back there in 8th. 91, Alex Taylor in 9th. And 188, Luke Luciano, rounding out your top 10. Announced to control. We got any pickups? I didn't hear anything. Copy that. Sidecars will be up next.
Give a little bit further down the pack, down the grid.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Going on down through the rest of the field, looks like Sound of Thunder out there. Mike Root believe he took the lead, or waiting for him to see if he's going to take the lead here as the bike's still coming by. Nope, looks like it's going to be 512. BJ Borer out there taking the unofficial win for Next Gen Superbikes. 880, James McKay taking the second for Next Gen Superbikes, and 770, Cameron Crockett coming home unofficially back there in third for Next Gen Superbikes. Hey, what's happening?
Oh,
How are you?
celebrities
Good to
in
see
the
you
booth. Celebrities. Larry Coleman stopping by. I did see him in the paddock yesterday and did ask him to come up here because Larry Coleman, come grab a seat, my friend. Here, move myself. Oh yeah, take that one.
Attention in the paddock. Let's go second call. Second call for race number 12, the sidecars. You folks are up here in just a moment. It's second call. Second call for race number 12, the sidecars. Second call for race number 12, second call.
So I asked Mr. Larry Coleman to come up here. Larry Coleman, icon, legend of sidecar racing, and one of my friends in real life. We're friends. I saw him in the paddock yesterday and was not expecting to see you, number one, so I was very stoked to see you, and then of course had to ask you to come up here and chat with us a little bit about this sidecar class that is happening right now, because literally there is nobody better to talk about sidecars than Larry Coleman. Larry Coleman, lay it on me. What's going on today? What do we have to look forward to?
Well, we're gonna have a good race today. There's only 6 sidecars. It's always best. I mean, we've started as many as 25 sidecars here at Laguna Seca back in the old days. But there's 6 sidecars here today. Each one, I think, is in a different class. And that's one thing about AHRMA. No matter what kind of a motorcycle you've got, be it solo or sidecar, there is a place for you. There is a class. But there's going to be some good racing between Bernard Ugly on the number 21 bike, who's always fast. He's an AHRMA champion. Wade Boyd and Eric Lindauer on number 88. They are the two fastest bikes on the racetrack.
Okay.
So there's a Formula One and a Formula
That's it. Out there in the
2.
paddock. Let's go. Third
And
and final call for race number 12, the
Yes.
sidecars. If
There's
you
a little
folks
bit
want
of
to bring them
everything
up,
happening
Let's
out here
send
today,
you
right?
now for your
There's
hot lap. Again,
there's
it
an
is
interesting
third
mix
call.
of
Third and final call for race number
sidecars
12,
because there's an
sidecars.
interesting
You guys are coming up right now. Third call, third
mix
and final
of
call
interest
for
in
sidecars. Third call
sidecars,
for
be
race
it
number 12,
modern
the sidecars.
or
Bring them on
vintage.
up.
Yeah.
The track
And
is
that's
now
the
yours
beauty
again.
of
Third call
AHRMA
for the
is that
sidecars.
they make a place for everybody.
That's to start.
Yeah.
Third's going
Yeah.
out.
I think I this is always a crowd favorite. Everybody loves watching
Absolutely.
the sidecars. I mean, and you've been racing sidecars. You are should I say retired? You were retired from sidecar
I did.
racing
I
now.
retired this year.
I
Yep.
know you said this, and you said this to me, and you said this publicly. However, you also are heading over to go ride, race, parade. Fill in the adjective here. Sidecars in Germany in the
Right.
fall.
Well, in September, I've been invited to go to the Hockenheim Classic at the Hockenheim Ring in Germany, and that's where I had my first sidecar race as a passenger in 1969.
Oh, it's a homecoming.
So it is a homecoming. I was over in 2012 and did the same event, and they'll
Attention on
have
the paddock.
they'll have
Officials,
50
please check your
sidecars
radios again. Officials,
Unbelievable.
please
I mean,
check your
it's
radios.
and a lot of my heroes from the old days will be there that are still alive,
Yeah.
including myself. And
Clearly, yes.
right.
Clearly,
and
yes.
so I'm really looking forward to it.
Good.
From a homecoming and then really interesting equipment in 60s, 70s, late
Luana,
60s.
please check your radio.
Sidecar road racing that
As
was
the racers
GP
take to the
quality.
track, here's how they're
then.
going to grid up
Nice.
out there.
That will
Modern
be there.
Sidecar
So, yeah, that's
TT2
gonna be
presented
awesome.
by Jessup
Awesome.
Enterprises.
Well, let's go ahead.
On
Let me
row number
go
one, it's
trackside.
A and Z Tony Dukas with Lisa Dukas as the passenger, and 104 Roy Janes for the Sidecar Formula Classic presented by Ton Up North Carolina. Back on row number 3, it's 043 David Cashel with Jay Vaden as the passenger. For the Lost Eras Sidecar presented by Brave Bull Racing. Back on row number 5, it's S84 William Becker with D Bergeron as the passenger. For the Super Vintage Field sponsored by Classic Motorcycle Racing Foundation. On row number 7, it's the rig of S07 Gary McEwen. For the Modern Sidecar USF2 presented by Pink Power. Row number 9, it's 68Z Wade Boyd with E. Lindenbauer as the passenger. And then the Modern Sidecar USF1 presented by Barnett Clutches and Cables. Back on row number 11, it's 21SC Bernard Julie with Kay Kautsky as the passenger, and then 175 Peter Essef with Jay Brownlee as a passenger. That's your field here for race number 12. Did I say his name right or not? Is you
That's right. Ugly.
Ugly.
Pretty close. The number 175 bike of Pete Essef will not make the grid today.
Oh, he didn't.
No, they're not going to make the grid. That bike used to belong to Rick Murray,
Yeah.
who was a former champion. And the bike recently got sold, and they brought it down
They
here.
said it'd been I thought they said it'd been kind of in long-term storage, right?
Yeah, and it ran yesterday, but it quit running today, and so they're trying to sort it out. I mean,
That's a shame, yeah.
it was in storage for a long time, but that's going to be a very competitive motorcycle when he gets it running.
When it's sorted out.
Yeah,
For the
absolutely.
sidecars, AHRMA is the premier sidecar organization in North America, hosting more sidecar races and racers than any other North American organization. Over 50 sidecar teams have raced with AHRMA in 2021 across 22 races from coast to coast. There are both vintage and modern classes, each having their own unique characteristics. In the vintage classes, you'll see both left and right side chairs. The right side chairs favor left-hand turn tracks, and the opposite is true for the other left side chairs. With a mix of chair outfits on the track, you'll see a lot of passing as speeds change dramatically between left and right-handed corners. Skinny tires on the vintage rigs equate to drifting and sliding, where the modern rigs will perform more like a Formula One car. The modern classes run sleek, spaceship-like outfits with modern 600cc and 1000cc four-stroke engines. The outfits are purpose-built and resemble a modern race car more than a motorcycle. Teamwork is vital. The rider and the passenger must work together, and particularly for the passenger, it's very physical work. Strong body core is essential for the passenger. Low center of gravity is essential for cornering, along with the passenger transferring weight to the proper position. As the grid starts to, rigs start to grid up out here, we're going to get a start here in just a moment. It's always interesting to watch these These rigs work their way around the tracks as the passengers, aka sometimes called the sidecar monkeys, really will hang off or crawl over the other side of the rigs depending on which corners they're going around.
And this is an inverted start today. So the fast guys are in the back, which is going to make for an interesting start.
I was noticing that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What is the engine of choice for the modern sidecar class?
600 cc's, probably Yamaha, and we got a BMW on the second place on the grid. But for the 1000 cc's, for sure Suzuki.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Laguna Seca is always a favorite with everybody,
With
especially
everybody.
the sidecar
Flag
guys.
waves, and there go the sidecars up the front straight away. As
Like
we looked at it, it
that'll
was
be
an
the race.
inverted field. If you notice, the Formula 1 and Formula 2 sidecars were all the way at the back, and there were some of the faster cars that we've got going, although the modern sidecar TT2 up front is still fairly quick.
And that sidecar that was on the pole, Tony Dukas and his wife,
We don't have it, just
Lisa.
his initials.
Lisa.
Yep,
Lisa.
Lisa's doing his thing.
They really have improved over the last year or so. They're really, really looking good.
Good.
But I think we saw what we're going to see. The race was right here going under the bridge. It was Bernard Hughley and Wade Boyd.
Yeah. They're
Out
always
there for
very
the
fun to
modern
watch.
sidecar TT2. This is sponsored by Jessup Enterprises. Jim Esseff of Jessup Enterprises shared that as he got older, the aches and pains grew. So a couple of years ago, he started using CBD products. CTFO has many CBD and non-CBD products available and performs third-party testing, so you know what's on the label is what's in the product. These are law enforcement tested, no THC racing, and CBD are a perfect fit. You can relieve the pain without affecting the brain. Become a preferred customer at www.jess-cbd.com or see them at the track. The Modern Sidecar USF2 is sponsored by Pink Power. We thank them for their sponsorship. Modern Sidecar 1 USF1 is sponsored by Barnett Clutches and Cable. And the Formula Classic Sidecar 4 is sponsored by Ton Up North Carolina. This is a non-profit organization promoting the riding, racing, and restoration of vintage motorcycles through education and outreach. Looks like our race leaders working their way over through the
Through the
corkscrew
corkscrew right
down
now.
the hill one more time here to complete lap number 1 in just a moment.
Yeah, absolutely. So our
And
race leaders-
if you want to really want to see something that's pretty spectacular, is watch the sidecars come through the corkscrew.
Oh gosh, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I am not, but I'll certainly put it out there if you want to.
So
tell me.
Tony Dukas leads. Bernard and Kevin have got their work cut out for him on the number 21 bike. Tony Dukas really showing his stuff. He and his wife Lisa on that front running bike to hold off, especially Wade Boyd, who is very quick. I expect to see Wade go
Copy
by
that. Are we
him.
going to use that big black stage that's down there, or did they still leave that there from last night?
How terrifying is it to go down the corkscrew in a sidecar?
You know, the
Copy
first
that. So
time
I'll
I
just
raced
tell
here,
them
I
to
raced
assemble
a
them down by
corkscrew,
the
and I
stage,
figured
right?
it out. And it doesn't seem like it's different, but it's
Now,
not
we
terrifying.
want to start that
Yeah.
probably as
And
quickly
then
as we can.
I went out and I walked
after
the track.
last race is done, maybe.
And when I got to the
15,
bottom of the
20 protest
corkscrew, I
period,
looked
we'll
up
move
and went,
into
"Holy crap!" But it didn't feel that steep.
that. I'll
Actually,
start putting
raced
the
it
word out
because you're
for it,
taking care of
and,
business.
David's gonna
Was it
handle
a
right?
5-story drop or a 4-story drop?
Well, I think it's a 4-story.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And
I
back
mean,
to
it's
that.
insane.
Yeah. No, it's substantial. But you're right. When you see it on camera, it doesn't seem like it's that dramatic.
Right.
When you're racing it, the guys
Out
and
there
girls
for
all
the
say
first
like,
lap,
it's just a
it's
quick
A
left
Z,
and right,
Tony
you're done.
Dukas and
Yep.
Lisa Dukas leading this one with
But
bike
if
number
you go and
16,
look at
Wade
it,
Boyd
it's
in the
crazy
lead now
town.
on the
It
second
is.
rig there,
Okay, let's
second
go see
place,
what's going on in
0.3.
this. Let's
Cashel
look
and
for
Baden back
them
there in that
and,
third place position.
This is such a
21
great
SC,
racetrack.
Yes.
Hughley and Kozowski
I
back
first
there
raced
in
here
that
in
fourth place
1973.
position, and SO
That was my
Gary
first
McEwen
race here.
rounding
We
out
finished
your
second
top
in the sidecar
five.
race.
S84
Every
William
year,
Becker
if
with
you
Bergeron
recall,
the passengers, that
as a
sixth place
racing
position.
fan, we used to have
Actually,
every
it doesn't
year
look like
here,
they
we
made
had
it. Looks
the
like we've only got five on
Kawasaki
the track
Superbike
as they're working their way
race.
around.
Okay.
Hosted by
second
Kawasaki.
lap
It was
of
an
this
AMA
sixth
National.
lap race.
And
Wanna
it was
remind
promoted
everybody
by Trip
that
Cox, and
after
they
the
realized
next
that the
race,
sidecars
race
were a
number
good draw.
13,
And so
we're
we
gonna
get
give ourselves
we
about
get
a 10,
15, 20,
15-minute
25
break.
sidecars here
And then
every
we're
year.
going to
Oh, wow.
start
Yeah,
handing
it was
out all
great.
the awards for today. We're going to do that
And was
down
very
in the fan
influential
zone area,
in
down there by the
sidecar
black
racing
stage,
become
kind
a
of,
professional
in between
sport
the
with the
stage
AMA
there
for
and
quite
the
some time.
two-story,
So you're right,
brick
Wade Boyd is
pavilion.
one.
So
Yep,
keep that in
and
mind once
Bernard
we get
just
done
went
with the
by
racing here after after the next race. We take just a little bit, set up all
right
the
under the
trophies
bridge
down
here,
there,
Bernard and Kevin
start
just
the
went
trophy
by,
Past the
presentation
Ducases?
down in the fan zone area
Ducases.
down between
Yeah.
the backstage there and the turn 3 pavilion. So keep that in mind.
Sorry, there's a lot of
We'll
talk
let you
going
know
on
when
right
it's
now.
time to assemble for that one. Also, for the track walk, for those that have bought the Cycle Corral track walk, we'll let you know when you guys need to assemble for that, when and where to assemble for that one as we get
Bill
closer.
Becker all by
Meanwhile,
himself
second
on the number
lap
84
here,
bike.
it's 68Z,
Becker,
Wade Boyd, and
a
Lindenbauer
prolific
leading this one
builder
within 8NZ.
and
Dukas
rebuilder
Dukas
of
back there
sidecars.
now in
Okay.
second
Yeah,
with,
he's based out of Southern
Hughley and
California. If you're
Kautsky
interested in
moving
sidecar
forward
racing,
and holding
Becker
on to that
Motorworks is
top
the guy to
three.
go to.
Oh, he's the guy.
Looks
Yep.
like it's 043.
Vintage
Cashel
Formula
and
2,
Baden
Formula
back
1.
there in
He's
the fourth
not only
place
driven them all,
position,
but he's also
and
built
waiting
them all.
for SO,
wow.
Yeah, he's
SO7,
really built
the
some.
rig
He
of
built
Gary
my
McEwen to come
BMW
around
outfit
here
that I
in
just
just
sold. Did a
moment. It
beautiful
looks like
job.
They're working their way
Oh,
through the
that's
back section
cool.
right now.
I had no idea. What is he aboard? What is he racing?
He's on a 750 Suzuki.
Okay.
If I was racing today, I'd be racing against him.
Okay. Alrighty, someone's coming through the corkscrew, but it shouldn't be leaders yet. That seems a little early.
So the
Or was it just like
this
a bird?
is a 6-lap race. So in this, well, we've got 2 down,
This is one. This is leader.
and that would be Wade Boyd, and there's Bernard trying to reeling him in. So yeah, that's who I expect. That's what I expected to be the race.
Yeah.
But Wade got away from him on the start. And got
He's
That's
winning.
That's
How you doing?
one of the old timer classes.
That's a 650
This is,
vintage.
there we go.
Yeah, Bernard is gaining on him. He's got 3 more laps to do it. Halfway
Looks like
flags
the
are
rig of
out.
68Z, Boyd and Lindenbauer seeing the halfway flags, let them know they've got 3 done and 3 left to go. Hughley and Kautsky. How do you say his last name? Kautsky?
Kautsky, correct,
Kautsky,
yeah.
okay. The rig of 21SC, Hughley and Kautsky right back there in second place position. Then the team of Dukas and Dukas on 8NZ. They all see the green and white flags, letting them know they've got 3 done and 3 left to go.
So Wade and Euclid just passed that slower, that 650.
That slower bike,
that
right.
that yellow rig, and they're just going through 3. They're headed towards 4.
I expect within the next couple of laps that's going to tighten up, and that will be a good race. It always is. Those guys have great races every time they're on the track together.
Yeah, Euclid's going to put his head down and
Yep.
turn the screw on.
And that's a classic. I mean, that's Formula 1, Formula 2. Interesting fact about the bike that Boyd and Lindo are on. That's my old TZ750 powered bike.
Oh,
There's not much of the chassis left anymore, I don't think. But
Yeah.
That's the bike that I defended my national championship with back in 80, 81
oh, that's cool.
with the TZ750. Right now it's got the Suzuki in it, but that bike's got a lot of history.
That's
a lot
cool.
of history here at Laguna Seca.
Obviously, if you raced it in 81,
Yeah.
it was 40 years ago. No offense, but yeah, that's some history.
Larry does cool stuff. I don't know if you know that, Jay. Larry's not a boring dude. He does cool stuff out here. All right, let's go see if we can find them on the backside of the track.
Okay. Looking for him to come down through Rainy Curve.
This should be them. Get down.
Race leaders out of that
Oh,
final turn.
yeah, it's
onto the
tightened
front
up quite a bit.
straightaway.
Yeah.
It looks like Hughley and Kautsky trying to make a race of it as they've reeled in Boyd
Oh,
and
this-
Lindenbauer.
this
As
is
Boyd and
gonna get
Lindenbauer will
entertaining.
Lead up over the crest of the hill, so everybody's seeing halfway now. So whatever happens, this would be considered a complete race as that duo works their way through turns number 1 over into 2. Then it's going to be the team of 8NZ, Dukas and Dukas out there leading in their class, starting their next lap. Then it's going to be Cashel and Vaden running in that 4th place position overall.
Where's the magic passing spot for sidecars on this track, Larry?
Exactly.
11 is a good spot.
Okay, last
Yeah.
corner.
Yep, the last corner. That's a good spot.
What about 2? Is it 2 Terra?
Two's a
Two is
hairpin.
well. If you get the right drive going over 1, 2 can be a good place to pass.
Can it? Okay.
Right. Laguna Seca is not hard to get. Some tracks it's hard to get 2 sidecars side by side with
Yeah.
drifting going on, and but at Laguna it's fairly friendly.
How is it to go through the corkscrew on those things?
Oh,
They sit so low to the ground.
It's just
Terrifying.
it's a technique. Well,
That was literally my word. And he said no.
there's a technique to it, using the centrifugal force, especially as a passenger, to help make the transfer from one side to the other.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Here's Becker.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's just
That's
he's in a
okay.
different he's in a different
That was race
class.
leader
Yeah,
going, wait,
no,
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 no, the second place
that
guy.
was-
Yep.
You know, in 1990, we had a full-blown sidecar world GP here at
Wow,
Laguna Seca.
really?
At Laguna Seca, sidecar GP. You bet.
Amazing.
The best in the world were here. And they loved it. Because every time I go back to Germany and I see my German friends, they go, come on, Larry, we got to go back to Laguna. We got to go back. They
for it now.
loved it here. Well, like everybody else, it's Monterey, it's the peninsula. I mean, it's Laguna.
It's
you know.
spectacular.
Right.
No, this is one of my most favorite
Well,
places.
Ugly got the lead. As he gets the white, 1 lap to go.
course.
Attention out in the paddock, looking for bike number 90D, Darren Gavin. Would you please report to tech? Again, looking for rider number 90D, Darren Gavin to tech. One more time, bike number 90D, Darren Gavin to tech, please.
There's your
Out
third
on the
place
track
finish.
looks like 21 SC,
First in
Ugly and
class.
Kautsky back there leading this one as they work their way around the leaders. So they're up to the lead. 68Z, Boyd and Lindenbauer now down there in second overall, and then Dukas rounding out your top three as the white flag flies on the sidecar race. Then it's going to be Cashel and Vaden back there in that fourth place position overall.
You know, speaking of the corkscrew, I was fortunate after I quit racing and went to work in the industry for Calgard Lubricants, and I was doing a lot of stuff. I was the voice of the corkscrew for Grand Prix,
Attention on
for
the paddock.
World
Let's go.
Superbike,
First call for race number 13.
That's when we
Sound
would
of
hand the
Thunder
race
2.
around the
You folks
racetrack
will be
to
up
three
here in just a
separate
moment.
announcers.
It's
There
first
was
call.
one in the tower,
First call for
one in
race
the turn
number
5, and
13.
one here.
Sound of
That's
Thunder 2.
cool.
Turn 6 and
First
one here.
call
Oh, it
for
was a
race
lot
number
of fun.
13.
Lot of
That's
First
fun.
call.
super fun.
I was going to say, I don't mean to be facetious, but I guess the trick to going through the corkscrew on a sidecar is just close your eyes real tight and pray, right?
Well, that's probably the first time,
I
yeah.
was going to say. You just pin it and say, "Oh my God, here I come," and just throw it in there, right?
And I've seen some sidecars go upside down up there.
I bet.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh. This is Euclid coming through the corkscrew right now in one.
And he's down through Rainy Curve, so
Yeah.
with a nice lead.
I don't know if he's going to catch these guys and put them down a lap, but
Oh, they're already
No,
down
not-
one lap.
Yeah,
no, that's
Or-
it'd be the second one.
He's down one lap.
The yellow rig. But this is your winner.
checkered flag out for your unofficial race winner, bike number 21 SC, Ugly and Kautsky, making it look easy out there as they take the overall win. Then it's going to be Boyd and Lindenbauer coming home second overall for the 68Z rig. Looking back up the field, waiting for the rig of Dukas and Dukas on 8NZ as here they come out of that final turn up the front straightaway to take the unofficial third.
I knew you were gonna say this.
Now, I wonder if the two that were in front,
Euclid and
no,
Oh.
the last two of McEwen and the other one that was out there. Somebody's out there without a transponder.
thank you, friend.
Anyway, I wonder if they're going to come in or if they're going to try and take that last lap.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know either. I'll
Depends on
find
what-
out here in a minute.
Depends on what. Yeah, exactly. We're all gonna find out together. Well, that was very.
Well, tomorrow we may have one more outfit out. Pete Essa may have that. They may have that.
Oh, they might
175.
fix it.
They might get it worked out.
And Pete has not spent a lot of time on Formula One bikes. He's a veteran of the ILMN TT. He's one of the very few Americans who have competed and finished both races at the ILMN TT.
Really?
In a sidecar, absolutely.
Really? I did not know
2016. Yeah,
Huh.
I went over and watched him race. Yeah, it
very
was,
cool.
Yeah, it was. That's phenomenal. That's an accomplishment.
I was going to say it's crazy enough on a motorcycle. I can only imagine what it's like trying to race on those narrow roads on a sidecar.
The TT is.
It's very exciting.
It's a classic example of you can read the books and you can see the movies, but
Until you actually
gotta
go
be
out
there.
there and see.
You gotta
go.
No, that's true.
Right.
What's the same thing
You
everybody told me
gotta
about
go.
Laguna Seca? This is my first time hearing it. Like I've always wanted to go. It's been on the bucket list, and now I'm
Yep.
here going, wow.
yes,
Wow.
indeed.
Well, thank you so much,
Yeah,
Larry
you're welcome.
Coleman.
Thank you.
Thank you, Larry.
My pleasure. Yeah, my pleasure indeed.
Motorcycling
Anytime.
Hall of Fame legend, icon, one of my friends, one of my favorite people.
Thank you very much,
So
Jackie. You
great to
flatter
see
me.
you. Thank you so much for stopping by.
I'm
racing tomorrow. If
You're
you're
the
planning
best.
on leaving tonight,
I'm just
or
another
leaving
guy whose
first
hobby
thing
got
in the
way
morning,
out of control.
Please don't forget to turn in your
I think
rental
that's all
transponders
motorcycles.
before you leave. I don't think we're going to have
It's all out
too
of
many
control
people
out
that come
here.
today, but just
Well,
in
thank
case
you,
we
friend.
do, if you've rented a rental transponder today and you're not racing tomorrow, that's the caveat, you're not racing tomorrow, please don't forget to turn in your rental transponder before you leave.
All right, and we're gonna get set up for
Doing a
race.
super job.
Oh, thank
13.
you. Appreciate it.
Really,
Isn't Jay great?
the best. I mean, I've sat in
Yeah.
that chair, and
Yeah.
you're doing a hell of a job.
I
You
appreciate
really,
it.
Really are.
You guys are the show out there. All I do is sit here and describe what I see.
Let's talk about it.
And I can't even hold a candle to David Stark the way he was talking earlier.
Oh, we have a good time up here.
Good point.
Yeah, we have lots of laughs. Thank you,
All right,
Larry.
thank you.
See you guys tomorrow.
You're
See
the
you now.
best. See you tomorrow. You're welcome up here anytime.
It looks like everybody's pulling in.
Okay, Sound of Thunder
Yeah.
2. This is it?
I believe so. Attention out there in the paddock, I believe. Hang on a second. I believe we can go second call now. Let's go second call. Second call, race number 13, Sound of Thunder 2. You folks will be up here in just a moment. Again, second call. Second call for race number 13, Sound of Thunder 2. You'll be up here shortly. Second call for race number 13, Sound of Thunder 2.
But yeah, Larry Coleman, just really great. Larry has done a lot of announcing for Bonneville, for AHRMA, for all sorts of professional motorcycling associations.
Announce to control.
He is absolutely is a total honor to have him come up here and visit us. So thank you to Larry Coleman for stopping on by. And with that, let's go ahead. It sounds like I hear
Announce
some
to
bikes out there,
control.
so it sounds like race 13 is getting ready to happen.
Okay, the sidecar's got a little crazy with me, and I don't know if we got a clean track yet or not.
Jeff Dixon, thanks for tuning in, my friend. Ask Peter SF about his passenger ride on the Lucky Strike sidecar. Yeah, I will be sure to. If I go find him down in the pit and paddock, I'll ask him. My first time watching sidecar race. Jeff Dixon, hey, thanks for tuning in. Don Sprain, thanks for watching.
Announce copies that.
Mr. Daniel May, you are certainly welcome. Thanks for watching, my friend. This is it. This is our final race of the day, race number 13. This is a big stacked class. This is Sound of Thunder 2. Thanks for watching, everybody. This race will be the end of our race program for today, but don't fret.
Attention
We're
out
back
there in the
tomorrow.
paddock. Looks like all the sidecars have cleared off. Let's go. Third call. Third and final call for race number 13. Sound of Thunder 2. You folks are up right now. If you want to pull the tire warmers off the bikes and grab your helmet and come on up, we'll get ready to go racing here on race number 13, Sound of Thunder 2. You folks are up right now. Again, third call. Third and final call for Sound of Thunder 2. You guys are up right now. Third call for race number 13. Third call for race number 13.
But yeah, we'll be back
Announced to start. Third call's gone out.
We'll be back tomorrow around 10 o'clock a.m., which is, of course, West Coast time. So make sure you come on back, or go ahead and hit notifications on. It's the little three dots at the top of the AHRMA Facebook page. You can turn notifications on. That way when I go live, it sends you a little alert and lets you know to tune in.
That's right. Mash that subscribe button and ring the bell. I've been watching too much YouTube. Well, I've got my wife and I stream YouTube TV, so it's kind of hard to get away from YouTube.
That's true. And we are streaming on YouTube also. I should not neglect our YouTube watchers. Go ahead, smash that subscribe button
Ring the bell for
and
notifications.
ring the bell.
And enjoy the show. As the racers take to the track for their warm-up lap, here's how they're going to grid up when they come back around. For the Sound of Thunder 2, presented by Boulder Motorsports and Brian Sharp. On row number 1, it's 111 Gary Orr, 660 John Beldak, 329 Matthew Crabtree, and 102 Elijah Suk. Row number 2, it's 811 Tommy Ryan, 065 Yugi Berrigan, and bike number 740 Frank Sinderman. 090 is Christian Miekma back on row number 3, as is 284 Peter Deluc, 96R Kenyon Kluge, and 758 Sean Woolery. Row number 4, it's 917 Lorraine Crussell, 11T Mark Jurasek, and bike number 9Q Jim Barker. Row number 5, it's bike number 560 John Irving, 23T Louis Sakan, bike number 1R David Crussell, and 2P Peter Kosakis. Then on row number 6, it's X16 Ray Call, 012 David Earhart, bike number 777, Joseph Wright. Back on row number 8, it's 316, Nick Lambert. 425, Richard Van der Straten. 919, Daniel Bucker. And bike number 188, Luke Luciano. Row number 9, it's 123, Troy Sahan. 99X, Jonathan Schendel. And bike number 990, Eric Bracken. Row number 10, it's 71, Hannah Johnson. 71, Hannah Johnson. 771, Ray Hoffman. 99T, Todd Murray. And 226, Tim O'Mahony. Row number 11, it's 328, Jim Rosinski. 11X, Stuart Clotworthy. And bike number 327, Kenji Watanabe. Row number 12, it's 468, Casper Weick. 77T, Bruce Berry. 495, Kishig Watanabe. And bike number 13L, Wesley Lackus. That is your field here for race number 13, the Sound of Thunder 2, presented by Boulder Motorsports and Brian Sharp. Here.
What?
Pronounce his name.
Casper Weipick.
Weipick? Okay. For the Sound of Thunder 2, sponsored by Boulder Motorsports and Brian Sharp. Since 2006, Boulder Motorsports has specialized in high-quality Ducati service and performance with one-on-one customer service. They provide knowledgeable information and comprehensive service solutions for Ducati enthusiasts and racers. Housing one of the largest and most comprehensive Ducati parts inventories in the U.S., they cover everything from performance upgrades to simple hardware and maintenance items. For the field itself, the Sound of Thunder 2 is open to any of AHRMA's Sound of Singles or Motard motorcycles. Engines displacement are liquid-cooled twins up to 850 cc's, unlimited air-cooled twins, and 3-cylinder machines up to 675 cc's like the Triumph Speed Triple, and 2-strokes up to 250 cc's. And this is one big class with a very bunch of fast riders on the front row. Going to be an exciting race here. Race number 13, Sound of Thunder 2.
Yeah, this is really shaping up to be a real paddock clearer out here. This is just about everybody on the fast and more modern machines. This will be a real good time. This is a really nice way to end the day for sure. It was cool, Larry Coleman stopping by and chatting with us, right?
That was excellent. I appreciate him coming in, yeah.
Yeah, he's wonderful. Matthew Carlson says X16, let's go, Grandpa Ray. So I guess Ray Carlson?
X16, I saw him on here. Ray Cole.
Ray Call. All right. Grandpa Ray. He will forever be known as Grandpa Ray. They use whistles here.
Yes, they do.
I can hear them. And this is one wave.
Yeah.
All right. I see you.
Mm-hmm.
Some really excellent bikes out there, though, huh?
Yes, there are.
Yeah, very cool. Some more modern stuff. Not just all antique old stuff around here.
No, you're right. Like
There's some more modern stuff.
like David said, we are the Historic Motorcycle Racing Association, but we have modern bikes out here too.
For sure.
Big bikes, small bikes, bikes that like to ride on trikes.
Bikes that like to ride on the dirt. Yeah, whatever.
As the green flag waves, looks like we got a breakaway rider out there on this row number 2 as the field lives up to its name, the Sound of Thunder 2. And once again, everybody thunders up that front straightaway over the crest of the hill, down over to turn number 1, working their way out of 1 into turn number 2. Starting to file themselves out single file, trying to figure out who's going to lead and who's going to follow here in the opening turns of this first lap of race number 13. We'll get the full running order for you when they come around to complete lap number 1 in just a moment as the field thunders out of turn number 3 over into turn number 4.
Right now on your screen, you're seeing turn 3 as they head to 4. And here is another shot of that.
Announced to Dewana.
The middle section of the screen is the pack heading towards 5 and 6. And you've got one breakaway lead rider. Oh my goodness. And then a really good gap between 2 and 3 as well. All right, by now they should be over the corkscrew.
Announced to Dewana.
All right, our leaders are making their way towards the corkscrew and
Can you
raining
please go
curve
one?
right now.
Hey, Dewana, with this Cycle Corral track walk, do I need to do anything special or have the people grid up anywhere to start the walk?
All right, and they're making their way down towards the front straight right now.
Copy that. Thank you.
John Belloc in one.
Out front, bike number 660, John Beldock ripping away the 065, Yuri Brannigan. I saw him take off from that second row. Got a great start up to second overall. Then 102, Elijah Suik back there in third. 96R, Kenyon Kluge in fourth. And 329, Matthew Crabtree rounding out your top five as the rest of the field thunders by. Back in that sixth position, it's 99T Todd McMurray, 771 Ray Hoffman back there in seventh. Eighth at the moment is 188 Luke Luciano. Ninth is 123 Troy Sahan. And then rounding out your top 10, it's 13L Wesley Lackas. Row number 11, or in that 11th position rather, it's 919 Daniel Bucker. 12th right now is 811 Tommy Ryan. 758 Sean Willery is in 13th. 740 Frank Sinderman is in 14th, and that 15th position is bike number 495 Kishoyi Watanabe. Then row number 6, or the 16th position rather, it's 1R David Crussell. 17th at the moment is 012 David Earhart. 18th at the moment is 316 Nick Lambert. 71 Hannah Johnson's back in 19th, and 328 Jim Rosinski round out your top 20 as the race leaders working their way over through the corkscrew one more time and coming around to complete lap number 2 in just a moment. Beldock is on fire.
Yeah, they're on rails and they are just slicing and dicing on through this track, and I can't believe there's traffic already because they're all in the same grid.
Yeah. Bike number 660, John Beldock is thrown down the gauntlet of challenge, putting his head down, laying down a blistering pace as he rips around the track on that second lap. A full front straightaway lead over the rest of the pack as he is definitely checking out. 065 Yuri Brannigan back there in second with 329. Matthew Crabtree trying to claw in and still holding on to that third stop of the podium. 771 Ray Hoffman back there in fourth, and 102 Lajasuik still rounding out your top five. Looks like 99T Todd Murray moving up on the leaderboard. He's up to sixth position with a lot of laps left to go. 96R Kenyon Kluge slips back in position to seventh. 188 Luke Luciano still back there in eighth. 123 Troy Sahan back in ninth. And 919 Daniel Becker round out your top 10 as Beldock all the way over into turn number 4 and 5. Halfway flanks should be coming out for him next time by. Also want to remind everybody that following the finish of this race, as soon as we can get everybody assembled, we'll start the trophy presentation down by the stage area, down in the family fun zone, down towards turn number 3. There's a big stage down there. Also, if you just look for that 2-story glass box down there, the pavilion, turn 3 pavilion, it'll be between the stage there and the pavilion, so there'll be plenty of great seating available if you want to start making plans to head down for the trophy presentation. We'll get that thing started here probably about 15, maybe 20 minutes after the conclusion of this race. Also, for the Cycle Corral track walk, we're going to let you guys know when and where you've got to assemble for that one. We'll get that in here in a little bit. And then at 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. tonight, it's called Date Night. You can have your food truck dinner, and then we'll do a featured movie. I believe the movie is going to be called Why We Race, and everybody's going to have their opinion about that one. But that's supposed to be the movie tonight, and I believe that'll also be down in the fan zone. And so if you haven't got any dinner plans, now would be the time to set it up with your significant other. Take them out to Date Night down at the food truck dinner and show them a movie.
John Beldock has completely checked out so fast.
Looks like 065 Yuri Brannigan might have had a bit of a moment out there. Either that or Ray Hoffman has really found some speed. 660 John Beldock still leading this one. But 771 Ray Hoffman takes a big swing coming up the leaderboard, holding on to that second step of the podium. 329 Matthew Crabtree still there on third. 065 Yuri Brannigan drops back to fourth. 99T Todd Murray moves up a position, rounding out your top five. At 102 Elijah Suik still back there in sixth with 188 Luke Luciano moving up into that seventh place position. 123 Troy Sahan back in 8th. 919 Daniel Becker back there in 9th. And bike number 96R, Kenyon Kluge. Not sure if he had a moment out there himself, but drops back to round out the top 10 as the halfway flags are out. And Beldock continues to set an absolutely scorching pace here in race number 13, the Sound of Thunder 2. Presented by Boulder Motorsports. Forget to put that on there.
That's right.
And here he comes again.
Speaking of,
Looks like 660. John Beldock is seen halfway. And whatever happens, this would be a complete race. Then it's going to be 771. Ray Hoffman, he's charging hard too. He's broken away in that third place battle. Here it's going to be 99T. Todd McMurray moving up a couple of spots. So McMurray's up on that third step of the podium with 329. Matthew Crabtree slipping back a position in fourth. And 065, Yuri Brannigan rounding out your top 5. 188, Luke Luciano moving up a position to that 6th place overall. And he brings 123, Troy Cyan back there with him. Then 102, Laja Suik dropping back to that 8th place position. Then 919, Daniel Becker in 9th, and 13L, Wesley Lacus working his way up to round the top 10 as the race continues on. John Beldock should be seeing the white flag next time by. White flag out for 660 John Beldock as he's working his way around some of the back markers as he starts his final lap. Then it's going to be 771 Ray Hoffman back there in that 2nd place position with bike number 99T Todd Murray fighting his way through traffic, holding on to that 3rd place position. 329 Matthew Crabtree has a whole pack right behind him. 188 Luke Luciano working his way up to round out your top 5. 123 Troy Sahan right there back behind him in that 6th place position. 065 Yuri Brannigan slips back another couple of positions, still holding on to 7th. 102 Laja Suik back there in 8th. 919 Daniel Bruckner 9th, and bike number 13L Wesley Lacus back rounding out your top 10 as the white flag continues to wave. Then back in that 11th place position, it's 96 Kenyon Kluge, 811 Tommy Ryan in 12th, 316 Nick Lambert in 13th, 758 Sean Rillery in 14th, and 740 Frank Sinderman. Round out your top 15 as Beldock over in the top of the course one more time here. Final lap of the final race today. Leader.
race leader.
Checkered flag out for your race leader, bike number 660, John Beldock, making it look easy as he checked out of the field. Here's your 2nd place rider, bike number 771, Ray Hoffman, really soldiered on after he worked his way through the traffic to hold on to that 2nd step of the podium. 99 Todd McMurray holds on for that 3rd step. Boy, Troy Sahan on 123 and 188. Luke Luciano, those guys had a heck of a battle. They've been racing each other hard this entire race. Sahan coming in 4th. Luciano rounding out your top 5 with 329. Matthew Crabtree slipping back a couple of more positions. He comes home in 6th. 065 Yuri Brannigan back there in 7th. 919 Daniel Becker back in 8th. 102 Laja Suik rounding in that 9th place position. And bike number 11 T Mark Jurasik working his way forward to round out your top 10 as the checkered flag continues to wave on this field. I want to thank everybody for coming out to race with us this weekend, or at least today. We've got a lot of more racing left for tomorrow. Looking here at the schedule again. Again, Cycle Corral Track Walk. We'll let you guys know where to assemble up for that here in just a little bit. We'll get the awards presentation started here. Probably about, let's shoot for about 10 after 5. It's about 20 minutes from now. We still got to get the track clear. So we'll shoot for about 10 after 5 to start the awards presentation down in the fan zone area. Go for announce.
All right, as we have our last
What's
racers
up?
making their way across start finish. An exciting day of racing out here. 13 races today, and we're going to do it all
The
over
garage
again
at the center
tomorrow.
gates. Okay, I have no idea what that's at, but I'm sure somebody will tell them.
So for more detailed results, make sure to go check
Oh,
out
okay, like where it's at the registration.
race-monitor.com. I just showed the top 10 finishers out here on the live feed, but you can go see all of the details over there. We do make sure to post over there,
I'll have them send
so
them
make
down
sure you
by
go
the
check
tech
it out.
area / the single level garage.
But thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. We appreciate you watching, clicking, liking, and sharing again. This is your AHRMA Classic MotoFest of Monterey. This is day one, and we have two days of racing this weekend, so we got one more day tomorrow. So make sure you come on back. We'll be turning on the live broadcast again in the morning, approximately 10 a.m. West Coast time. We're going to run for about an hour or so. We take a break, and then we come back for the afternoon program. Afternoon program is usually around noon to 5 p.m. in that time zone. So again, we would be on the West Coast time, right? Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We appreciate you clicking, liking, and sharing. Thanks for Mr. J. McMacken and myself for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow. Huge
Cheers.
thanks to all of our sponsors. We can't do it without you. So let's go ahead and give them a little bit of love. But we'll see you guys tomorrow. Make sure you hit the notifications on. You are not going to want to miss it.